The 2014 HQ Holden National Championships are proudly brought to you by IXL Premium Lubricants.
I've got questions on my mind. Her body aches night after night. She's the apple of her kind. Still got questions on my mind. Yeah, I got questions on my mind. Sees the darkness every night. Showers into my light. Still got questions on my mind. I need to, and you need to. I need to satisfy my mind. I need to, and you need to.
Hi everybody and welcome to Morgan Park for this special episode of Blendline TV, bringing you all the action of the HQ Holden National Championships here this weekend. Wayne Healy and Kevin Stoopman both joining me, Daniel Beckinsale in commentary. Wayne, you're the regular HQ expert on deck. What do you see here with 48 cars? It's going to be a pretty interesting weekend.
I don't know about the HQ, and I got Mr. HQ himself right beside me, so I'm a little bit intimidated and nervous about that. Look, it's going to be a fantastic field. There's guys from Western Australia, Queensland, or the home track Queensland, South Australia, Victoria, and only one from New South Wales. It's great to see how so many people here, but really the expert is the man right beside you. And he knows what he's talking about.
Now, I know that expert was gathering a little bit of information in the pits earlier. Kevin, who do you think is going to be coming out on top here? We've got such a strong field.
Oh, this is going to be an absolute cracker. Brucey Heinrich, I mean, wow, his thing's been so quick all year. His son, young, we call him Junior Flog, young Joel Heinrich, awesome driver. In an ex-championship winning car, so he should be good. Gary Bomwick on his home track, was he 5-time national champion? Mate, this is going to be awesome, but my money's on Brucey Heinrich.
Bruce Heinrich has been doing very well in the state series as the guys come out behind us now. He's been doing really well in the state, Victoria and South Australia. Do you really think anybody can actually get near those guys?
No, not really. I think Bruce has got two things on his side. One, certainly lots of car speed, but their ability. I mean, he's 5-time Australian champion in the saloon car, which really speaks for a lot. And he builds his own cars, builds his own engines, knows what he's doing. If he gets his head around this track, wow, he's going to be pretty hard to beat.
It's definitely going to be one to watch. Wayne, the only New South Walesman we've got here this weekend for us is Scott Cameron. I mean, those guys have been working that car hard, trying to bring it on for this event specifically. Do you think they've got what it takes?
Well, unfortunately, his background this year hasn't been good. He struggled with speed, he struggled with engine, he's had engine failures. Mate, as a New South Walesman, I love to see him good. I just can't see. If he cracks the top 10, I think he's achieved a hell of a lot. Like Gary Bomwick, like you said, Bruce Heinrich, Gavin Porteous from South Australia. These guys, even John Wise, who hasn't been racing, I mean, lacking a bit of speed, as he said yesterday, but mate, it's anyone's race. It's fantastic. 48 cars here for the National Championship. That's fantastic.
It's really going to be a great event with 48 cars. The even-numbered cars have just rolled out for qualifying behind us. The odd-numbered cars will be out next. Then we have 6 heats, a rapid charge before we finally hit that final late tomorrow afternoon. Let's go now and have a look at some of those qualifying highlights to see who came out on top and who took the check for $150 home with them this weekend. Race 1 of the weekend now. We've got 24 HQ Holdens on the grid for this one. Joining me in commentary is Kevin Stoopman. Kev, looks like Bruce Heinrich's the man to beat.
Oh, Brucey Heinrich. We'll have a look at the guy next to him, Gary Bomwick, Mr. 5-time, but we're away. Let's have a look, and it's Brucey Heinrich. What a start. He's absolutely nailed that.
He's done very well, and Neil Corey's following them through there as well behind, and Perry Beckers has got a good launch way up inside the top 5. He looks like he's going to challenge for 4th, but no, slips in behind. So it's very early stages though here, Heat 1, so it's just about getting the points together, I assume, and making it through the final.
Oh, we've got somebody's run wide. That's Andruski, is it? Andruski?
Yep, he's come wide under the bridge through turn 2 and 3. So
great start to the heat. Have a look at the talent in this field with your Brucey Heinrich, Gary Bomwick, Neil Corey, Perry Beckers, and that's Beggsy. That's Gary Beggs, local boy, and Gavin Porteous. I mean, when you're speaking about talent, Gavin Porteous, not only champion in a car and in a motorbike. I mean, this is who's who in this heat.
Yeah, it's definitely one to be standing up and be counted in, isn't it? As it looks like, lovering down the inside of Porteous there. Porteous is not going to stand for that. You can see holding the inside here as we come back up onto the back straight. They're going to go too wide down for the first time, so they're not holding anything back in these early stages of the race.
Yeah, we've got a bit of in-car footage from young Lovering, second generation, of course. Raced against his father Lee Lovering many years ago, and young Kyle's doing a ripper job. And him and Gavin Porteous now side by side, half the track done, and not one of them wants to give it up. This is HQ racing at its best.
Yeah, it's going to be great down through that back section, I think, for the rest of the weekend, because it's really fast and flowing, and that means the guys can really start to get up a bit of momentum and drive hard onto each other. Do you think, I guess, drafting is going to become a thing to be doing down that back section?
No, I tell you what, up the two long straights at this track, certainly some drafting's going on, but 87, he's a young fella, isn't he? I think just in his first season of HQ racing, so he's well and truly up there in the mix.
Yeah, Brendan Madden sitting inside the top 10 as we go back on board with Joe Andreski, but it's getting hot at the front with Neil Corey. He's all over the back of Bonwick, and Beggs is right behind him. Perry Becker's trying to buy into this battle as well, so these guys, they're going to start slowing each other down though, and that's going to allow Bruce Heinrich just in front to start pulling away a little bit.
Yeah, some great racing to watch for us. So Mr. Neil Corey calling Peter Pan. He only races 2-3 times a year, and we reckon he's got some fairy dust that he sprinkles over the car and makes it fast every time he comes out. But tell you what, Beggsy, the local man, have a look. He's all over the back of him. Oh, I'm sure that Neil Corey knows he's there.
Yeah, he'd definitely be watching those mirrors, but he's got to try to keep an eye on Bonwick in front as we come back down into, I think this is turn 6 down the back of the course. So these guys just really need to start getting into a rhythm, maybe stop fighting each other so much. Think about that final that's going to come up later on in the weekend. We've still got 5 more heats to go, so there's no point throwing it away in these early stages.
They're all race car drivers, Daniel. Every race counts. But have a look at Heinrich. He's absolutely bolted from the field. He's got mega speed in that car, followed by the multiple national champion, of course, Gary Bonwick. And then the race behind him for third place, it's on. There's probably 3 or 4 cars in that at the moment.
Yeah, look at this. You've got Stuart Kenny all over the back of Brian Goldfinch as they come through the back. And whoa, Brendan has taken a huge move to the inside as we go on board with Joe Andreski to take a look at it. Look at this. He's rejoined right in the middle of the road. He was lucky to pull that up and not found the outside wall.
I think that's called commentator's curse, isn't he? I'll just give him a big plug and look what he's gone and done.
Thrown himself down the field. I'm sure he'll drive back through though well. He's got some speed under the bonnet of that one and was putting in a fairly good lap time up until that stage. So I dare say he'll be trying to fight his way through a bit of the older heads in front of him, though they'll be able to hold him up behind.
I reckon so. This battle's on. Tell you, Perry Beckers too. He's a reasonably new bloke from Victoria. Shares a car with Andrew Williams. He's great looking car in that beautiful blue colour. He's showing a fair bit of form. He might be a bit of a dark horse as the weekend goes on.
Yeah, we know you've earmarked him to look out for throughout the weekend, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does. And you've got to take a lot of confidence from sitting behind those guys in front, that the Bonwicks and the Beggs, who really have a great pedigree in this category.
Oh, there's some talent right through the field. Matty met him all the way from WA. Did you see how many of the WA cars came over? There was a truckload. It was like a road train of HQs all the way from WA. So sensational job from these blokes, and there's a lot of pretty quick cars over there from WA. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. But it's Brock Mitchell, young Brock Mitchell. Of course, he's a protege of our local man Gary Bonwick, who's out there showing the WA blokes the way around at the moment.
He's doing very well, sitting inside the top 10 comfortably as we go on board with Brian Goldfinch, one of the men behind putting this whole event together, and he's sitting in there behind Joe Andreski, and just look at this field behind him. There's just, as we've said, there's depth all the way down. You've got Brendan here trying to make his way back through after that earlier mistake. Let's see if he can get down through turn 1 without issue, turn 10, without issue this time.
I'm just having a look at that. We're looking at a couple of young blokes there, and Brock Mitchell and Brendan, and then you've got the old Foss out there, father of Scott, we call him, Reggie Wood. I think he's late 60s old, Reggie, and he still does a ripper job. So we've got the young and the old out there in HQ racing, and that's what we love about the sport. It certainly entertains everybody of all ages.
And in this heat today, they'd be pretty happy that it's only a 10-minute race to start off the weekend. Just get yourself eased in. That's a huge moment there. So number 18, who's that? That's Alan Shuttlewood. So he's had a bit of an issue through the final chicane and shuttled himself off the track, I guess.
It's a good move. And Gavin Porteous there just swinging around a little bit. I don't know if he's having some fueling issues, but he's certainly changing lines a fair bit. Young Lovering, I'll tell you what, this young fella too, I haven't seen him race for a long time. He's doing a ripper job this weekend. He's showing like he could be another one of these dark horses with the speed he's showing.
I think there's definitely a few people who can actually win this event. The guy out in front, Bruce Heinrich, we haven't spoken about him since the first lap, and he's just checked out at the moment. He's got a 5-second lead. Oh, Corey, give Bonwick a hit out of the corner there onto the back straight. Bonwick must have a problem though. He's slowed down, and it looks like 3 of them managed to get past him. Beggs and Beckers have both got through, and Lovering's lining up for a shot, so maybe he's got some sort of issue with that car.
I think he might have either missed a gear or had some fuel surge. These guys are pretty good mates actually, because they've raced together for so many years, so he might have had a bit of surge. But it's Beggsy. Beggsy's having a big time underneath Corey now.
Now he needs to hold him wide to the chicane. Corey's going to try to drive it around the outside because the line will be there for him if he can hold it. You're going to end up with 2 HQs in the grass here in a second.
I tell you what, he's got to shut that door quick because he knows if it's open that all of a sudden there's a whole freight train, and here it is. It's allowed Beckers to have the run, and have a look at the horsepower of Beckers' car. Straight down the outside. He says, I'll take you both. Thank you very much.
Well done to Beckers. He's going to have to try to brake it hard now for turn 1 because he'd have a bit more speed on board than normal with that draft down the straight.
And Bonwick's back. Have a look. He must have just had a hiccup because all of a sudden the freight train's got even longer.
We've got 4 of them now battling there for 3rd place because Beggs has managed to sneak himself away a little bit. He's not far down the road though. We'll see it on the next shot. He'll be right there in front of these guys. There he is. So they're all chasing him, and Gavin Porteous slowly just eking his way up onto the back. This is going to be a 5-6 car freight train in a second.
Yeah, Gav's been around a long time. Ripper bloke, ripper driver, and I tell you what, if they tune him out of the equation, they're wrong, because one little mistake and he'll be in there. Bit of pressure on Lovery now. All of a sudden Bonwick's back on the pace, so I'm not sure if he missed a gear or had some fuel surge, but great looking car, that one of Gary Rogers. Good backing by Trick Trailers this weekend.
Yeah, it's good to have some sponsors come on board and keep you going when you're out racing these HQs.
If you're going to back anyone, why not a bloke that's won 5 national titles? So, but I tell you what, he's not the one. It's Bruce Heinrich at the moment who's showing the way, and Gary Beggs, not a usual campaigner in HQs. Certainly seen him doing a bit of saloon car racing, but he's showing that he's not scared to drive the 6-cylinder HQ Holden around his home track, and he's pretty fast. He's
pushing hard. And Bonwick there dropped position to Porteous as well. I wonder whether he's got a fuel pickup problem on just the left-hand corners, because he seems to be all right up the straight and through the front section of the course, but slow again down the back section.
Yeah, he'd be, I'll tell you what, he'd be limping home trying to gain points, because it's all about points for the final, of course. And Gary being one of the red-hot favourites on his home track, he's certainly looking for some points, but it's Lovering again who's showing us some good in-car video over this race. But there's the old Foss. We talked about him earlier. Scott's Furniture Car 29. Yep. Out there with a couple of the WA blokes having a ripper run.
He's managed to get past both these guys. So Brian Goldfinch and Stuart Kennedy have both lost ground to Greg Wood in this lap. So we've got Brian Goldfinch now just sitting in behind. You can see he was up in front of, up with Joe Andreski before. So these two have got past him. I guess later on in the race, these cars start getting a bit hot and will start to slow down a little bit, some of them.
Oh, cars and drivers, I think. The cars are 1972, 73. Some of the drivers are even earlier. So we all slow down a bit. But HQ racing, look, this is 25 years. It just never ages. It was fantastic 25 years ago. It's fantastic today. And when you see this many cars with a great venue like Morgan Park, it's going to be a ripper weekend all weekend down here. We're in for some great racing.
Well, if this first heat is anything to go by, of course, we're going to have some definitely brilliant footage coming out of it as we take a look further through the field. And these guys now just coming home on the final lap. I doubt it's a bit too late probably to make any sort of move for position now. Just bring it home, get the points, and move on towards heat 2 or 3, depending on what you've drawn out of the hat to get onto in the next round.
You see, Beggsy and Lovering used every bit of the racetrack there. They were on the grass. Just a sensation.
Oh, all the way on the grass.
It's commentators curse again.
He's tried 4 wheels.
And there goes Peter Pan. He's got past. So, well, I did say they were using all the track, but Lovering's going to come back at him.
Here we go. It's a drag race to the finish line for the end of this race. And Lovering looking to his right. He wants to try to get past Corey. I think he's done it. Oh, on the line.
Have a look at a bit of a wave out the window. What a fantastic battle. But, hey, what about that bloke out in front?
Yep.
Do you reckon he even knows there was another car on the racetrack?
I doubt it. He didn't manage to get round to anybody in the 10-minute section either. So Bruce Heinrich has led home a comfortable victory. Is it an omen for the weekend? I guess we'll find out in the next few races. Gary Beggs, Perry Beckers, Kyle Lovering and Neil Corey rounding out the top 5 for that one.
Oh, that's just heat 1. What a weekend.
I'm here with Jamie Finesse here at Morgan Park. Jamie's put it on pole in the first qualifying A. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. It was, good. Got a good tow 1 lap and, held it together, so
Gary right behind you, Skippy Parsons there, John Wise. It's a massive weekend for you. Obviously, expectations are high.
Yeah, I'd like to go as well as I can. There's a lot of good guys here, and I was glad to get one back on Uncle for a change. It was pretty close. It was like nearly identical time, so yeah, pretty happy with it.
Do you feel a bit pressure because it's a home track and you've got guys from Western Australia, South Australia? You know, it's a big field.
It is, yeah. I got told at dinner last night that there might be a few following me around to see what goes on, but sort of got to keep an eye on leading the Queensland Championship as well, so I sort of got to keep that in the back of my mind, that I've got to try and be consistent and finish and keep the points rolling as that as well, so I'm sort of in a bit two frames of mind as to what I'm going to do yet. So.
Well, don't bend the car, mate, because you've got to win the championship. Nationals are obviously high on your priority, but keep it going. Beat your uncle, for God's sake, mate, because you'll never hear the end of it.
Yeah, well, it's good to get one back on him eventually. He's going to slow down eventually one day. So.
Well, there you go. Jamie's out for a big weekend. Let's see what he can do. Let's go over to Kevin and see who he's talking to now.
Well, here we are at the HQ Nationals with the absolute legend of the sport, David Skippy Parsons. Now, mate, you've raced V8 supercars. What's made you do the upgrade to HQ Holdens?
Look, they're a good car, grassroots racing, and I'm starting at the bottom and working back up. So it's an absolute honour and a pleasure to run in this category.
Well, mate, I don't think you've started at the bottom. From what I saw in qualifying there, you're a P3, is that correct? P3?
Yeah.
Well, mate, we are absolutely honoured to have somebody like yourself, and it really does show the level of class and skill in HQ racing to have someone like yourself out here enjoying the sport. So, Recar, good sponsorship for the weekend?
Yeah, last minute, and Dave Cameron with myself helped put it all together with Bobby Jones, and yeah, we're here.
Good to have you here. Now, mate, I've got something I did notice when I was out there. Of course, you're driving with the fast Johnny Wise as your teammate here and team owner from Fast Wise Transport. Now, Johnny, you're a bit of a legend of the sport in HQs. You've been around for probably close to 20 years, lots of podiums, state championships, probably seen and done it all. I was a little confused out there, mate, because I saw you out in the bush, but it's your teammate that's called Skippy. So what was going on there?
Yep, I'm called Hoppy at the moment. You know about that, Kev, and it used to be the fast Johnny Wise. You told me that.
For all you people that don't know Johnny Wise out there, he really is a bit of a legend of the sport. It's great to have such nice guys like him out. And he is actually sporting some pretty severe bruising and back pain over the weekend. So, Johnny, we wish you well, but I know you and Skip together, it's going to be a pretty formidable combination for the weekend. So, good luck, guys.
Yeah, thanks, mate. And I'm not going to show you the bruising on camera either.
So, thank guys. So, we'll leave these two legends here to get on with their racing for the day, and we'll cross over to Daniel, who's on the other side of the pits.
Thanks, Kevin. I'm here with Perry Beckers. Perry, Kevin Stootman's chosen you as a bit of a dark horse this weekend. How do you think your run's going to be?
I think we'll go all right. Car's going really well. Qualifying then, a lot of cars breaking down, but then we finally got a couple of good laps in towards, I think it was lap 10. We got a good lap in then and put me in about 5th place. Yeah, so I was happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah, you have qualified 5th on the driver A or the odd numbered cars. How do you see that putting you in a good spot, I guess, through these heat stages coming up?
I think it'll get better when I'm in traffic and that, and faster cars. I think then I'll pick up more of the track, how the track's going and all that. I think it'll be good then. Yeah.
It's got a long process to get through to the final, and you're going to have to watch the track conditions changing and a lot of different drivers. How do you think you're going to go? Like, what's the plan with moving forward, trying to get to that final race of the weekend?
We'll just keep going and try and keep it straight and try and keep fast. The car is really good and it's good at long distance races, so hopefully we'll do really well. Yeah.
Well, good luck out there and hopefully it all goes well for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it, Perry Beckers. He's the dark horse according to Kevin Stootman. We'll have to watch out for him in the heats ahead. Now we're going to cross to Wayne Healy, who's with our New South Wales driver, Scott Cameron.
Thanks, Daniel. I'm here with Scotty Cameron. Scotty just put his makeup on for this interview, mate.
Yeah.
You look very refreshed.
Thanks, mate.
Morgan Park, new track. How you feeling?
Yeah, good, mate. It's been good. It's a big trip up here, and only New South Wales car here, sorry. And yeah, we're ready for a good weekend.
Mate, the car looks good. It's a big field here, 48 cars. What are your expectations this weekend?
Mate, if I can be top 15, that was kind of my aim. There's a lot of fast cars here, as you said. So if we can get there, we'd be very happy with the end of the weekend.
Horsepower on this, is it a horsepower track or is it a talkie track?
I think a bit of both, really. Torque would obviously help you right out of those corners, especially coming up the hill, come back onto the main straight. But horsepower down that back straight, if you don't have that, yeah, you're probably not going to be right on that pace, yeah. So,
mate, you're obviously qualified 10th in the first qualifying session.
Yep.
bit unhappy with that, or you happy with that?
Mate, I'm actually fairly happy because I feel that the odd number cars were probably the stronger of the field. And to be 10th there, I thought, yep, and I worked out the times from the next with the even numbers, and I would have been 5th in that. So you work it out, it's around the 15 mark.
Mate, you got the cockroach. They got the cane toes up here, giving it to you. You got the Mexicans down here, giving it to you. The only New South Wales bloke. There's a lot of pressure on you. Yeah. And then you know what? We're going to give it to you too if you don't do any good. You know that, don't you?
I know, of course I know this. Yeah, it'd be a bit of fun though. It's all good fun.
Well, there he is. He's our heater for a bit of fun. He's come a long way for New South Wales. The only car for New South Wales, and hopefully he'll do well. Let's go to Kevin Stootman now, who's with Greg Wood.
Thanks, Wayne. And now we're with one of the absolute classics of the sport. We're here to talk about your favourite subject, Foss. You. Foss, of course, father of Scott, the man who's probably got more nicknames than anybody else in HQ Racing put together.
And I deserve them.
Old Flog Senior himself. Is it true? 10 years has gone past and you have made every single HQ National Championship.
I have. I've put that down as one of on my bucket list. I thought I'm going to try and do every one for the next decade, from the past decade, and this is the last one.
Now, you're not a young man, so surely that bucket must be pretty empty by now.
No, it keeps filling up. I've got a lot more to do yet.
Now, Foss, father of Scott, Foss. Any sponsors you'd like to thank this weekend?
Yes, Scott's Furniture, and especially I'd like to thank Trick Trailers for sponsoring the other car, which I've let young Joel Heinrich have a go in this meeting, because I think he's got a lot of talent, a little bit more than me, of course, and he's just got to catch his old man. That's the play. That's the trick.
So, no team orders?
Yeah, I've told the old man, Joel's old man, that he's got to ride shotgun, and he thought I meant shoot him. I said, no, you've got to let him win. He didn't want to know that.
Well, I think it's fantastic for HQ Racing to have characters like this old fella here. He's just gets younger every year and faster every year. He's always quickest on Friday, and it's an honour to have you, Reggie. So best of luck for the weekend, mate. I hope you do really well. And now let's have a look at some of the earlier heat races from today.
Thanks, Ruby.
Heat 2 here at Morgan Park for the HQ Nationals. Joining me in commentary is Wayne Healy. Wayne, the lights are gone out and Joel Heinrich's gone absolutely nowhere.
No, he's bogged that right down, but it's a good start from Happy Carter there.
Yeah, he's done well leading this field down into turn 1. Jamie Finesse tucks in for the ride, and we've got Weiser. This is probably the most stretched out we've seen the field all weekend going into turn 1. I mean, these guys, even in qualifying, were all over each other, and now in this second heat of the weekend, they're really just taking their time to make sure they're all settled in and ready to go. It's all about the points at this stage, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about smart driving, getting into a rhythm. Look at the Wise car and the Parsons car. They're absolutely immaculate. They look $1 million there. Have a look at them there. Looks like Wisey's got the upper hand at the moment. And Scotty Cameron, the only New South Wales guy from Subway, with Howlett there in a nice green and black car from WA. Doing well, but you're right. It's all about points. It's about getting to know the track. There is 48 cars here this weekend for the Nationals, and it's a big weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot to do, and it's just about getting through these early stages. I also spied Tony Maloney, and it looked like Levitt going side by side into turn 4 as well. So there's a bit of action happening further down the field as we come down into the sweeper for the first time, and just look at this field. Tony Maloney's a bit of smoke there from the rear wheel, actually. He might have taken a bit of a hit in the early stages. I wonder if Brooker's helped him with that one, as Brooker now goes to the inside. They're going to go too wide into the sweeper. Wow, look at that for a move, side by side. Those cars are at the edge of their grip, and here they come down into turn 10. Brooker's going to try to hold the inside. Tony Maloney on the outside. They're sliding through it. What great racing from these guys.
2 by 2, and look at the gap. Look how much respect they've given each other. But you're right, there's definitely a tyre rub on that outside guard there, and that's going to hurt him. Hopefully it won't puncture the tyre and he'll be able to go on. But we're on board now with Jason Levitt. And he's going to go for the inside. Three wide.
There's no room down there. You can't do it. What's he? Oh, bouncing it down the door of Brooker. He's made it stick as well. What a great move from him. I can't believe that pulled off.
A fantastic move. And why that was happening, why he has missed the apex, and he's now found himself 2 spots back under pressure from Scotty Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron just getting in behind him there. We said in Heat 1 that one of the things you can't really do is go too wide around that turn 3. It's a real problematic corner, but it looks like Cameron's dive bombed Wise into 4, and he's made the move stick as Lovett goes down the inside of Brooker as well. It's all happening here, and you've got Joel Heinrich buying back into the battle as well.
Again, mate, that tyre rub that's blowing a fair bit of smoke there, as we're on board now with
It was Warren Wadley. That
Wadley,
one.
yeah.
He's sitting in behind. He's got a good watching brief of this battle in front of him. I think he's probably in the place you want to be. You've got all 8 cars piled up against each other, and just sit back and hopefully something will happen. We've seen a lot of cars come off already this weekend, and I dare say there'll be a few more before the end.
Yeah, on board now with Brooker, and I dare say that Joel Heinrich's put a lot of pressure. Again, look at the smoke rub on Maloney. How long is this tyre going to last? I really don't know. But when you first seen it, I thought there was something, oil, but thank God it's only a tyre rub.
Yeah,
I know it sounds silly to say thank God it's only a tyre rub, but if the tyre pops, then he's in all sorts. But it's better a tyre popping than the motor popping.
Exactly, it's just a tyre rub, but the thing he's got going for him is that it's a majority of right-hand corners around this track, so he's not going to put a whole load of pressure on that right rear tyre, so he might be able to make it to the end, and if he does, it'll be the getaway of the year, because if he lost points right now, it's going to implement him drastically into the final. It's going to affect what he's going to be able to get points-wise, as Joel Heinrich goes around the outside of Brooker as well. Maloney's buying into this on the inside. Oh, just decides to back out of it. And now Heinrich holds it on Brooker, and he's made the move. Well done there to Joel Heinrich. We've spoken about him before. We've seen him all year in the state level on Blendline TV, and I tell you what, he's a young kid coming on strong.
Absolutely. He's been doing great things in Victoria, South Australia. His old man's dominating at the moment in the first round, dominated the first round. As you know, mate, this kid can drive. He's backed up by Stoopy, who thinks he's going to be the future of HQ racing.
I dare say Stoopy's right. I mean, if he's willing to back somebody, you've got to take a good hard look at them and think that they may well be there. On board again now with Warren Wadley as he comes through turn 6. You can see that battle pack in front of him just building up and building up. Look at all those HQs all over each other. We're seeing some absolutely fantastic racing this weekend, and these WA guys and South Australian guys further down the field as well have found each other this weekend, and I tell you what, they're putting on a show like their front runners.
You wouldn't think they don't know this track too well. Oh, there's someone off there. That don't look too good.
Yeah, that would be Brian Fangler, I think, in 73. He's had a DNF, so unfortunate for him, pulling up to the edge of the course as we go on board with Furness. He's starting to have a look at the back of Carter as they make a run down to turn 1. You can see him here. He's going to close up a little bit under brakes. Furness, the local boy, of course, looking for a good run in the Queensland Championship and a good run here this weekend to put on a show for the Queenslanders. And he's doing all right so far, keeping Carter honest. And I tell you what, it's not all happy days at the front when you've got somebody breathing down your neck.
No, he seems to be getting stronger every lap. I think Carter's going to have his work cut out for him to keep him at bay. But look at the guys behind him. You got Skippy Parsons, you got Howlett, and you got Wisey, and then these guys are, they're not used to this track, and to come up here and to do as well as they're doing with Scotty Cameron, again, New South Wales boys, to hanging in there. Mind you, this is only a heat for points, so you think they're running for sheep stations at the moment, don't you?
There's still a lot to go. I mean, we've got 4 more heats before the final. There's meant to be a repechage as well, though. Who knows with attrition whether that will actually play into the end result. But look at this, Wise all over the back of Howlett. He's showing him the bumper, just letting him know he's there. Wise would probably be a little bit dirty that he's lost so many positions in these early stages. He got shuffled wide a little bit by Parsons. Now he's down the inside of Howlett. I think he's made the move stick. Let's see as they're going to sweeper. Will Howlett give? Yes, he just drops in behind. Had to there, really. It's not a too wide piece of road.
No, as you see on board with Scotty Cameron there, got a great view of that. That's a pretty wise move. He did get a good run on that around the back there to come on to around the back of the circuit to get underneath him and then hold the outside line. So coming up the straight, let's see if he's got the power there. We're on board with Scotty Cameron, the subway car from New South Wales, doing the only New South Wales guy and doing us proud. But you got Bolter there going around from South Australia, car 69.
Scott Andriski, yeah.
All these guys are just, it's what a fantastic effort. 48 cars. It is a hot driveway, and we got Rogers going around.
Well
done. That is a good-looking car too.
Yeah, he's done well. He just wanted to give us a good look at the side of it. He felt maybe he wasn't getting enough exposure there.
Yeah.
He's put it sideways at turn 10. Very easy to do there.
We got a dive from Finesse.
Down the inside. See that thing squirm under brakes. He's made the move stick. that was well done. I'd have to say Carter's done well as well to see him, and he just opened the steering and let Finesse through there. Finesse was right at the edge of his braking, but he's made it stick, and that's going to be, well, if he can run away here, it may well be the first heat win for Finesse, and that's going to set him up really well for the weekend.
Finesse running a bit wide there. I don't know if his tyres are starting to go off a touch. Carter had a good run, but again, like you said, Carter had the presence of mind to let him go. It's a heat. We can catch up in the race. He's got a bit of a run on him here, coming down to the back. Let's just see if he can do it. But Finesse has gone on the defensive, holds the inside line, and he's gonna hold him around the back of the course, the bottom of the course. Sorry, coming up to the straight.
Yeah, down into turn 10. This is the lowest point on the circuit, and it's quite a climb up to turn 3. You don't realise until you get down there that turn 3 and under the bridge is actually quite a steep climb away. But I tell you what, I think Finesse has enough here to hold off Carter. If he can just drive it smoothly, look at Carter bouncing it across the ripple strips.
Doesn't that remind you of the Hawaii 5.0 type car? I'm wondering if he's going to jump out, slide across the bonnet and go, book him, Dano.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the
He's
run.
got the
Here
run.
you go. He may well be trying to book him now as he goes around the outside at turn 1. It's a diminishing rewards out there, though, because the racing line is going to force him off the road. And there you go. He decides to pull back in behind Finesse. That was probably the better idea in that moment because it was going to run out of road out there very quickly.
But the notice the slower the speed, then both of them were a bit tentative there. But look at the run he's got. Again, Finesse going on the defensive.
Carter driving it just down the middle of the road, making sure there's nowhere Carter can go.
He's making that rear end 4 or 5 metres wide, isn't he? But you got to give it to these guys. They're cleared out. They're having a great race. Like I said, you wouldn't think this is just a heat race for points.
Yeah, well, this is the final lap now. So Carter with it all to do to try to get past Finesse, and Tony Maloney with all sorts of smoke coming out of that car. He's going to make it to the finish, though, so it's a good effort. Joel Heinrich has managed to get past Levitt as well, and now Brooker is buying into this one. So you've got a 3-car train starting to take effect. I don't think Heinrich's going to get any further forward, which is unfortunate for him. Started inside the top 10, and I think he won't quite get there. Well, actually, no, he's just got himself into 9th, so he's only just got back to where he began the race. So a couple of laps and he's done it.
Yeah, the smoke coming from Maloney's car, it's amazing how he's made it this far.
Oh, look at
Carter
this.
just putting the pressure on Finesse on the last lap, coming up to the straight to take the checkered flag. You got Parsons behind them. And then you got Wisey throwing up a bit of dirt. It's a dry track, hot weather. Here we go. He's going to try. Is he going to get it?
Final corner. Here we go to the line.
He's slowly winding up.
Yeah, I think.
Is he going to get there? He's going the inside, but no, Finesse has got it.
Finesse makes it home in the end. So what a great race from 2 real champions at the front of the track. It's Jamie Finesse has led home, John Carter, David Parsons, Johnny Wise, and Michael Howlett running out the top 5. Now Wayne Healy is down in the pit lane with HQ Nationals organiser Brian Goldfinch.
Thanks, Daniel. Brian Goldfinch, the president of Queensland HQ Racing.
Yep.
Mate, you're racing yourself. The event's going okay. How's things, mate?
It's actually fantastic. We've got 48 entries. I think it's the biggest Nationals entry in a number of years. Thanks to our sponsors, IXL, Premium Lubricants. They've sponsored the weekend for us. It's going really good.
Well, you've got a number of cars from all over Australia, Western Australia, Queensland. Your home state has got plenty here, has come, which is great. Victorian, South Australia, New South Wales. You've got to be really happy. Yeah, Tassie.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. We had the dinner last night as well, which everybody attended. It was fantastic. It's been a great turnout from all the states. It really has.
6 heats overall. Then we got a repecharge and then a final. It's a beautiful little circuit. It's a narrow circuit. These Kiwis don't mind going side by side, and sometimes 3 don't go into one corner.
No, that's right. Have a look at the side of my car and you'll see that. No, we've got 40 in the final race, so that'll be a sight to see. I don't think we've never had 40 HQs on the circuit, and you're right, it is a tight little circuit. But you ask anybody around here, they're loving it.
Mate, well, I got to commend you because you're doing both help running and organising this. You're racing. So your mind must be everywhere. Congratulations on a great weekend thus far, and I wish you all the best. Let's go to the highlights of all the races.
Thank you, Wayne. After the break, we'll have all the action from Heat 4 of the HQ Nationals at Morgan Park, so make sure you stay tuned to Blendline TV. Heat 3 of the weekend now. Kev Stootman, we've got a good field out there for this one, and the day's starting to heat up. It's late afternoon on Saturday, and it looks like Jamie Furness is going to try to take it to Bruce Heinrich this time.
Yeah, Brucey's absolutely nailed the start again. He hasn't missed one, and I'll tell you what, Jamie is quick around this place. This is his home track. He loves it. He's done lots of testing. So this will be interesting to see if we can test Brucey out here. And have a look at Jamie. He's right in there on turn 1.
Well, he's also leading the Queensland Championship at the moment as well, so he's going for that title. And I tell you what, it's good for him to test himself against some of the skill and calibre of drivers we have here.
Hey, talking about skill and calibre, have a look. That's David Parsons in the Wise Motorsport car. David Skippy Parsons, Bathurst winner in the 80s, driven for some of the biggest names in car racing. He's out there in a HQ at Morgan Park, having a crack. That tells you how good these things are to drive.
And sitting there in 4th place, and it looks like he's got a freight train right up behind him. Neil Corey there trying to come along for the ride as well. As we go on board with Joe Andreski again, and we've got car pulling to the inside.
That's Howlett.
Yeah, Howlett's pulled over.
That's second generation Michael Howlett, son of Grant. He's got an issue there by the looks of it. That's not good. He's one of the fast guys from WA, so that's sad. Lots of smoke coming out that exhaust.
I dare say that's an engine letting go with so much black smoke out of it.
Not good.
No.
I have a look at this. So Heinrich again stamping his authority. It's Beckers. Beckers, the dark horse.
He's gone to the outside.
I don't care if I shouldn't be able to pass out here. I'm going to try it anyway.
Here he goes. He's switched up back. He's right in behind Furness again, and there's Parsons. He's going to come along for the ride, and you know that he knows how to stroke a car along, especially a 70s car, and he'll be up there in a minute.
He's in his prime in a HQ hold, and this is what he grew up with. And behind him's Peter Pan, Neil Corey. You just know anything with Heinrich Performance written on the side of it's going to be quick.
Whoa, off the road there goes number 19. That is one of our New Zealand drivers, actually, Mark Strachan. He's got the New Zealand flag waving out the side of it. I think he's, South Australian or something like that. But anyway, he's
I'm not sure where he's from there or where he was trying to go, but it was a long way from where he's supposed to be.
He's heading off track and, calling for a fire extinguisher. The car's on fire underneath there. You can see flames, so that's an issue for those guys that might well put pay to their weekend.
They'll get that under control. Tell you what, this is a bit of a test for what's coming. Brucey Heinrich looks like, again, he's showing some form, but look behind. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, absolute nose to tail. And Brock Mitchell, the young fella, not far away as well.
Did you notice there as well that Bonwick has managed to get past Warren Truan on the way through the front section of the track? Now he's got all over the back of him young Joel Heinrich, so the battle's heating up in the mid-pack as well. As we take a look here in Brock Mitchell, he's in a bit of a field of his own at the moment, but that'll work well for him, get some smooth rhythm down, and he might be able to catch these cars in front.
Great to see some of these young fellas come along. Brock, of course, being helped out by Gary Bonwick. Lovely young fella doing a great job. Of course, Joel Heinrich, son of Bruce, also a fantastic young driver, showing great form in South Australia and Victoria at the moment. But it's some of the old blokes at the front. Have a look at this. Brucey absolutely on the edge. Finesse, Beckers, Parsons, Corey. There's not, look at that.
There's nothing between them. They're using all the road and a bit more to try to find the quickest way around this course. And look at Perry Beckers here. We know he's fast in a straight line. He's trying to get the run. It will be more the ripple strip on the inside. He's in the draft now. Watch for him to swing to the outside. There he goes. And now it'll be a drag race down into turn 1. He might well do this.
Have a look at that for power. What a run. Straight down around the outside of Jamie. Jamie must be sitting in the car going, wow, what just happened?
Sideways through turn 2, hangs the rear out. Now Furness with it all to do. He won't make it around the outside at 3. There's a bit of diminishing rewards out there because you can see how far over the cars end up, and you'd end up in the grass down near the ambulance if you tried to hang it out there.
That was sensational stuff. Jamie himself's not scared to hang it out too. He's probably never seen someone else go around him and do it in front of him. And Jamie too, using all the inside of the track. Have a look. You reckon Neil Corey's on the back of this pack? He's probably going, where am I going to go?
There's not much more track for him to use. They're trying to use everything they've got, and he's all over the back of Parsons, and you're just going to have to wait for these guys to fall off the road in front of him, I think.
Good luck with that. I'll tell you what, can you still... there goes Neil Corey. Can you still buy windscreens for a front of a HQ? Because I'll tell you what, there's got to be some rocks flicking up out of these blokes.
They're definitely going to have a few cracks. Looking out the rear window of Jamie Furness and this train behind him, they're starting to catch up now, so it's going to be all on here in a minute as they come down to the final corners.
Yeah, Jamie's an absolute fantastic driver around here. He's doing really well in the Queensland Championship. But there's battles right through the field. Have a look at this, right to the very back of the pack. It's on for young and old. Tony Maloney, he's another Victorian who's usually a bit of an entertainer. Not necessarily the fastest always, but always very entertaining. So I tell you what, I'd keep an eye on Tony as the weekend goes on.
Oh, I think he's going to be trying to make a few moves on these guys in front. You've got Truan. That is an awesome car, actually. I had a close look to that earlier on in the weekend, and it's done up like a fighter jet. And tell you what, if he can push it along, it may well go as hard as one as well.
Oh, a lot of effort went into the building of that car from Warren Truan. We called it the car of the future. Of course, Mark McDonald, Macca, had a lot to do with helping. Brother of Glenn McDonald, who was a multiple champion, but it's Undrisky that we're back in the car with now. He's going pretty well.
Yeah, he's got himself up into just the outside of the top 10, so he's going to be trying to push on up there instead. But look at this battle pack behind him. You got Stuart Kenny and who's that on the back? Tony Maloney, all battling into that group as well. There's so many names flying around, you don't know who you're talking about.
You got Booker in amongst that. Have you ever looked at Booker's car? What an incredible wrap job that thing's done as well. So another one of the Queensland guys, but Truan's given a bit of room there to Undrisky. He obviously
the outside.
Yeah.
Whoa, touch! They may well be beautiful cars, but these guys don't care. The Rubbins racing as we come into the backside of the
I think
circuit.
that's Booker in there. So is that one of the WA boys in there?
Yeah, that's Stuart Kenny.
Stuart Kenny, so he'd be having a great. They'd be having a ball here.
Look at this, Tony Maloney's down the inside.
Yeah, I'm sure that gap was big enough.
I think if they can see tarmac and a little bit of grass, they're going to shove the HQ in the gap at this weekend.
Look, they're great mates on and off the track, these blokes. They'll all have a good laugh about it afterwards, but how entertaining is this? This is motor racing at its best. 1972's HQ Holdens going 2 and 3 cars right around Warwick Park. This is fantastic.
They're trying everywhere they can, and a few more new corner angles that we haven't seen before as they come down to turn 10 yet again. Joel Heinrichs managed to extract himself from this group and find a bit of a rhythm in front. He's not closing on the guys up a bit further up the field though, so he'll just hang and try to, I guess, go with Gary Bonwick as we go back to the front. And Neil Corey's now going to try Perry Becker's move. Not quite going to do it.
He had a bit of a look. Jamie is, I'll tell you what, he's pretty deep on the brake. He's got a big brake pedal in that car, Jamie, and something else which helps out in the equation. He's not scared at all, so pretty hard if you're going to try to outbrake Jamie Finesse around his home track. But Neil Corey, I think he's won on just about every single racetrack in Australia now. He's been around for a long, long time. Ripper guy, loves his car racing, and I tell you what, if Jamie makes any form of mistake, Neil's going to be in.
Yeah, he's all over the back of him now, and Jamie Finesse doing really well to hold his own against some of these great, well-known and respected drivers in HQ racing around Australia.
Well, I think Jamie has been up there with some of the greats for a long time. Maybe he hasn't had a bit of a luck fall his way in some of the bigger events, but we've seen him at Bathurst a couple of years ago and a few other race meets where he's been right at the pointy end of the field. He certainly knows how to pedal the car around. And I'll tell you what, when you've got racing this good with so many of the greats racing together, it's just a win-win for our spectators.
I think Neil Corey is going to have to replace his left-hand side suspension before he goes in many more heats. Turn 6, he's smacked it off that rebel strip every lap. He's just trying to find any way he can around these guys. Skippy Parsons dropped off the back here a little bit. I think he may well have just decided to pull himself out of this group and not worry about the battle too early in the weekend for that one. As we go back further down the field and just look at this battle, Truan's on the back of Andreski now, and they're going to come down into turn 10. This is going to be on here in a second.
Do you think they're having a go, Daniel?
I think they're trying to push for all it's worth. It's like we're going for the World Cup final here.
Well, it's all points. It is. I mean, this is, of course, the Australian Nationals for HQs for 2014.
He's going to the inside. 3 wide into the final chicane.
Screwing down the inside. This is all points for where you start, so it's on for young and old. Every point counts.
Here you go. Tony Maloney's going to pull out of the draft and try to go around all 4 of them in front. I don't think he'll do it from back there, but, you know, it's worth a shot around the outside of turn 1. Why not? Others have got it done this weekend from there.
He's one of my favourites, Tony Maloney. He's always very entertaining to watch. Very entertaining.
Well, we're on the final lap for this heat now, and Furness has got himself back up behind Perry Beckers, and Neil Corey's coming along for the ride. These guys, they're going to be pushing each other hard into this final section of the course, and we'll watch for Neil Corey to try to make a move here on the line. We saw him in Heat 1. He had the power and he drag raced up to the line there, but didn't quite make it against a couple of the other drivers, so it'll be interesting to see if he can do it this time.
Gee, Neil Corey has certainly used all the body roll in that HQ hole, and there is nothing left of suspension travel. And I tell you what, they've climbed back on the back of Beckers too, so barring Heinrich, who's miles in front, these guys, they want points because it's points where they start for the final on the biggest race of the calendar for them, so they will duke it out right to the last corner. But have a look at Heinrich's thing. That is incredible.
It's just so planted, that car. He's just pushing lap times that nobody else can match. He's a second quicker than everybody else on the track, and his mile per hour or kilometre an hour is just higher than everybody else as well. He's definitely got that car hooked up, and he's going to come across the line for his second victory of the weekend. It's going to be interesting to see what happens behind him and who can take it to him, and what undoubtedly is going to be a bit of a thrilling final for the weekend.
Yeah, I tell you what, the race was on for second there. Perry Beckers again, the little unknown bloke who's right up there on the points.
Whoa, Truan's off. The fighting happening down the field. There's Brooker to the inside. He steals the position away. Must have been too wide down in turn 10 there between Andreski and Truan. And now Truan's going to try to make a run on Brooker to the finish line. We'll see how they finish up here. Here they come to the line, side by side. He's going to get there. No, not quite. And Tony Maloney, last-ditch effort as well.
Yeah, had a crack at Stuart Kenny right on the line. So those guys would have had an absolute ball. You tell you what, if you got down the pitch, they'd have smiles on their face bigger than you could even imagine. So.
Great racing there from the guys. Bruce Heinrich leading home, Perry Becker, Jamie Finesse, Neil Corey and Dave Parsons rounding out the top 5. Heat 4 for the weekend here at the HQ Nationals at Morgan Park on Blendline TV. Wayne Healy with me in commentary. We've got John Carter and Gary Beggs on the front row of the grid, and it's a good clean start from the guys so far.
Yeah, Beggs got a pretty good start there, but look at Carter, just the strength of the car just back up. I don't know if Beggs has missed a gear to give it back to him.
Yeah, second gear launch was good there, wasn't it?
Second gear launch was very good. Comes around in turn 2, very nice. Why is he getting hammered by Lovering? Is it Lovering?
Yeah, it's Lovering sitting in behind. Here we go, under the bridge, through turn 3. This is where they all form up into a line and everybody gets their next chance to have a fire at each other into the 90-degree turn 4. It's more like a hairpin, this corner at the bottom of the hill, and you've got to be really good on the brakes to get past somebody here.
Yeah, great footage there of that corner too. You can see the whole track. You see them come 2-3 wide. They're not scared. Again, heat 4, it starts to heat up because people are having a look at the point system this weekend. As you can see, Lovering heavy under brakes there. The front of the nose comes down. The weight of these cars, the distribution at the body roll, as you can see, he's missed the hit. He went over the ripple strip bad there, but he hasn't lost any ground, and no one's caught up to him. He's going to give this a big shake, Lovering.
All of these guys have been working that turn 6 exit ripple strip really hard this weekend. We were saying earlier that it's going to be one of those places to watch out for because you can get suckered into turn 6 really easily. You come through that turn left-hander, turn 5, and turn 6 sort of appears in front of you. As we have a look through the field now, and Scott Cameron there, our New South Wales guy, the Subway car, sitting in a pretty comfortable position. He's just trying to get the points. Back behind him is Woodbridge, and Beggs is off. So is Lovering. I wonder if they've touched. There's been some sort of issue there, and Beggs has lost position. He'd be upset now behind the wheel.
Oh, definitely. Whether he's been hit from behind, we can't tell, but yeah, he's going to be very disappointed in himself. He's got a bit of work to do. He's got to concentrate now, get back in the groove of things, start being repetitive breaks, and you've got a bit of a gap there from Lovett to Scotty Cameron.
Yeah, these guys, of course,
he's just closed that up
to go. Yeah, he's closed on the brakes.
Yeah.
But there's a few more laps, so Beggs doesn't need to get out of control here. He just needs to get his mindset, back in the game and get going again. You got Cameron there. He's holding off Woodbridge as well behind in the green car, and behind him it looks like Brendan Madden. Is it? Is that? Yes, it is. Brendan Madden coming
Woodbridge
through
making
as well,
a dive down there too. Just on that's a great, like I said, great footage of that coming down that corner. And we're back on board with Lovering. He's lost a bit of ground, but again, too wide here. Wilson dives underneath. Pratt.
He's got the move done, so that was a good effort.
Rogers in the nice turned out green car there is just in front of car 98, which is Waddling. There's a bit of fuel coming out of the back of that car. I'm pretty sure it's his car.
Yeah, it's one of the blue HQs that we've noticed, but Warren Wadley is sitting here in behind Stark at the moment, and there's a bit of a battle between these guys further down the field. They're looking for points as well to get through to the final, so don't forget that it's still pretty hot happening down the back there as well, as we look at Wood, who's behind Stark, and looks like we've got a
Goldfinch.
Brian Goldfinch sitting in behind as well. So these guys all over each other, and this battle continues on. It looks like Woodbridge has actually lost a bit of ground. He's starting to fall back towards Stark, so I wonder if his battle with Scott Cameron has seen him get a slow exit out of somewhere, because he's dropped a couple of positions in the back half of this lap.
He has. Greg Wood in the nice turned out car there. Stark, he's just lost a bit of ground from Stark, but Goldfinch is definitely under pressure. He's got a car right up on his hammer too. I can't tell who that is right at this stage, but These cars, mate, they come in at a weight of 1365 kilos minimum. The body roll on this, you got people from different states. There you go, car 88, it's Butler. Butler's absolutely, fuel's pouring out of that car, or something's coming out of that car. I'm hoping it's nothing major for him. But look at it, Coach High Beggs he's tagged back on. He's back in the top 5. He's made up a couple of spots from that earlier mishap.
Yeah, on board now with Lovering, and he's got Beggs and Porteous up behind him. They're starting to close up, and he's just trying to reattach himself to Wise here. They were right up with him when that earlier incident with Beggs happened. Oh, you can see he's pushing hard though. The way he dropped the wheel off at turn 6. Let's see him through turn 7. Looks like he's got a bit of understeer, and yeah, he's off again. So he is pushing this car to its limits as he tries to catch them. And Porteous and Beggs behind, even though they're battling. Look at that, Porteous now right up behind Lovering. That's what drive can do for you in a HQ, and he's going to try for the inside here. We're going to have to wait for the next shot at turn 10 and just see if he's made it, but I don't think too wide there's going to work.
He's making the dive now. He's going for the dive. Under brakes. I think he's got the job, has he? Lovering's not going to give, and Beggs is going to try. Beggs is going to try and bind into it as well, and look, he might do it. He's definitely got it. So that's the bad part about it, isn't it? When you someone makes a dive on the inside, it makes you vulnerable for the cars behind you. Oh, there goes Butler, and he's got the witch's hat there. Let's throw some fuel over it at the same time. I hope no one's got a match. Oh, this is going to really heat up.
Very, very hot here for Heat 4 as well, so there may well be an issue with a bit of fuel, but that's one of those things with these 1970s cars. The fuel filler is behind the number plate. You see it a lot on the road. People think that there's some sort of fuel issue with the car, and it just tends to be that if your fuel cap is a little bit loose or the seal's about to go, you'll start to lose fuel.
It is a very common thing to sometimes forget to put the fuel cap on, or the fuel cap comes loose, comes off, but Porteous is Beggs underneath.
They've touched.
Gives him a little bit of a hip and shoulder.
Through.
But Porteous is not going to give it up, and I was just going to say he's one of the nicest guys I ever meet, Garen Porteous. Beggs has put him right under pressure.
What a move by Beggs. He just wasn't willing to give it up. He's made it stick now, and now Porteous coming back on the outside as well. He knows he's got the inside line for turn 7. I think he's going to get it done here as we run too wide onto the back straight. Lovering's got to be sitting in behind going, what is going on? I was in front of these guys a second ago. And now look at this. They're going to try for 3 wide. Oh, you can't be. 2 wide's enough. 3 wide, we don't need to try it. Lovering, just sit in there.
This is
wait your turn.
Sensational racing, isn't it?
Oh, my God. Between these 3.
Again, there you go. Porteous
has dropped him behind. That was a better move.
That was a better move because he was under pressure from Lovering, and who could have taken that spot. So better to lose 1 spot than lose 2.
Yeah, Lovering now sits in behind. He's got to bide his time and just work out where these 2 in front of him are weak, because he can get back past them. He knows he's got the speed to be up there. He was up there before. Just look at the way these guys come through that final chicane. I've loved standing there on the weekend and just watching these guys in qualifying and practice and some of the earlier heats as well, when you can just watch them bounce it off the ripple strip. There's no care or mechanical sympathy for these vehicles. It's all about the points. There you go. As Orb just runs a bit wide as well. That'll just slow him down the main straight. But you can just see that these guys, they're not holding back.
No, and when they do, cars go off the track there, you can see how dry it is being up at Morgan Park in Queensland. The dust comes up again. What happens is then you have that fear factor of maybe a car that has spun in front of you. You can't see it.
Sideways for Wadley. Sorry about that. But he got very loose there on the run into turn 2. That's given him a chance to fall back into the clutches of the car behind.
Which is Prangler.
Yeah, Prangler sitting in there behind us. Stark has a look on the back of Wilson now. But I think we've got to say that some of the great racing we've seen this weekend, kudos has to go to this guy, Brian Goldfinch, who has put in such an awesome effort to get this event together with the Queensland HQ Association. It's been brilliant racing. We've still got 2 more heats and the final to go, but what we've seen already is better than what you see at most race meetings around Australia.
No, very well put. Again, 6 heats all up in total for this weekend. You've got a repechage and then a 20-lap final. Brian Goldfinch has done a fantastic job, has made everyone feel welcome. I feel very privileged to be up here and helping out, and it's fantastic. He's done a great job. Very proud of himself. He should be very proud of himself.
Yeah, and the racing that the guys have put on, every one of the drivers deserves to be commended. I mean, we've still got it going on here with Lovering up behind Porteous. He's going to get a run on him on the straight here. Look at this. He needs to get him behind and just suck himself along. He'll have a look at turn 1 as we look further down the field at a couple of these guys having a good old battle down there as well.
Which is Shuttlewood and Preem. So it's one of these things where it doesn't matter where you are. It's a battle everywhere. Look, side by side, plenty of respect. They're nowhere near each other. Although he goes very wide, it's going to wash a lot of speed going up there. But these guys, it doesn't matter. Like I said, HQs.
Oh,
you
too
could be
wide.
you could be last or you could be first, and they're going to fight you
about
right to the
moving
end.
in there, and then had a better idea with it. Thought maybe I'll just sit in behind, and now he just has to try to sit in for the draft down the straight, as we've seen work so many times before. And this is Wilson down the inside of Wood as well. He is on a charge in these late stages.
Oh, definitely. You got Scotty Cameron who's tucked in behind. These guys, you got battles everywhere. Three or four cars here, 3 or 4 cars there. Again, back on board with Finch. It's just Goldfinch, sorry, and it's just. I'm so happy of being up here.
Yeah.
This is great racing.
He's got the South Australian Graham Bolter in front of him. They're trying to chase down this guy Wood, who's also stuck in behind. I'm not sure who it was just in front of him. He dived out a shot a bit too quickly. But Brian Goldfinch sitting in behind this group, and he's just going to be trying to get his way through there. Scott Cameron now looks on the inside and soon become the outside of Woodbridge. He needs to just sit in behind, wait for turn 10. I mean, this is the final lap. There's no point on doing anything silly, but he's going to try for it. Here we go. It's a dive to the inside.
And he's made the
that
move.
was
Well
a
done.
good move. Well done, Scott
done.
Cameron. He's got the position.
Carter takes the checkered flag and does it easy. I'm just going to have a quick word about Johnny Wise. He's going to come in second. Mate, he has got a...
Whoa, sorry. Big moment there for Curran as he comes across through the final chicane, and Pratt has managed to get round him on the outside. So that shows what you can lose in the final stages. But it's John Carter who's taken a very good victory.
And Wisey, who's under an injury cloud, has done a great job. These fellas have been fantastic. Beggs, Porteous, Lovering rounds up the top 5.
Heat 5 of the weekend at Sunday morning. This is the last heat for points for these guys. We've got Jamie Finesse and Bruce Heinrich on the front row again. Kev Stoopman joining me in commentary. We've got David Parsons in this one as well, and Kyle Lovering looking to make their way through. This is going to be on.
They've been the fastest 2 guys. That's why they're at the front. It's the local young fella against the 5-time national champion in saloon cars, the old fella Brucey Heinrich. And David Skippy Parsons behind, bit of a legend. Perry Beckers, and we're away. But have a look at that thing off the line. That thing of Heinrich's is like a bullet this weekend.
It's just launching so hard for him. And these guys behind as well, Beckers and Parsons going side by side. There's a lock up there. Parsons was not willing to give that one up and slides into 3rd position. You can see Scott Cameron a little bit further back as well. Our New South Wales driver, he's forced Joel Heinrich a little bit wide on the run up to turn 3. Here they come under the bridge now.
Young Joel Heinrich. That's not his car, of course. That's a Spud Wood championship car that's been driven in the past that young Joel's driving. So he's been given a good opportunity to drive a good car. So we'll see how he goes. He has been struggling with some engines, but it's the other young fella there by the looks of it.
Yeah.
It was young Scotty Cameron who's run a little wide.
He was using the last bit of the track he possibly could. You know, in the rain, you try those alternate lines to find some grip, but I don't think there's much grip out there for him. As Lovering does the Neil Corey trick and bounces it off the turn 6 ripple strip.
He's been aggressive this weekend, young Lovering. He's really had a crack. I tell you what, you wouldn't want to be writing him off. He's been in the top 10 all weekend.
Yeah, he definitely has.
Skippy.
Now pushing his way forward. Parsons going left and right down through the back kink as we take a look at this field. Scotty Cameron's dropped away a little bit in this early app, but it looks like I wonder if he has any sort of issue in the front of that car.
Well, there he is. It's in car with young Scotty now, but it's Howlett. Howlett actually he's normally pretty quick. He had that problem this morning with the fire. Good job by the team to sort that car out, and he's looking like he's pretty fast and coming back through the field right now.
Look back at the front. He was about to go past Truan, but look at these guys. Oh, Parsons jumping that car through the final corner. These guys are leaving nothing behind now. We thought the heat racing was intense during the first heat, but now it's all on as Perry Beckers to the outside.
I tell you, this is just fantastic. Parsons absolutely wrestled that car through there. You can see how he won Bathurst. This bloke can drive, and this car of Becker's, I mean, man, it's on steroids.
And just look who's snuck up on behind them there. Joel Heinrich, the young man you've been doing a bit of mentoring with this year. He's coming on strong as this race weekend progresses, and now he's inside the top 10 quite comfortably. He could be on with a good result.
Young Joel's probably one of the best future talents in motor racing to come. If he's going to be anything like his father, I'm happy to be on board and back Joel.
Oh, Howlett finds the sand trap.
Wowee.
I'm not sure if he made the wall with that one, but he went off at a great rate of knots. there must have been brake failure or something there, brain fade for sure.
This is definitely the commentator's curse, isn't it? We just give him a wrap-up, he's become roaring through the field. And on it, here we go. From in Scotty Cameron's car, he's darted to the outside. He's just got no grip. I don't know what's happened.
I dare say he must have missed his braking marker with trying to dive around the outside of Truan and just lost it to the outside. He's rejoined the race, but I dare say that car's going to be returning to pit lane very soon.
Maybe some change of underwear as well, I would reckon, with how fast he came off. There's Spies, local bloke doing a good job in the 68 car, throwing it pretty hard up against the curb using all the track. But have a look at this battle again. Lovering, Beckers and Heinrich absolutely into it. Every position counts. I tell you, they say you're not racing for sheep stations, but you've got to fool these blokes.
Yeah, they're just on the edge of the limit here as Beckers is all over the back of Lovering. It looks like he lost a little bit of ground through there, and Joel Heinrich just holding station. He's going to make a run on these guys when he gets a chance, and just battling his way into the back of the group there, as well as Brock Mitchell, and he's going to be on this one too soon.
Well, we've done an engine change in young Joel Heinrich's car between heats, and have a look at the speed he's showing now. So he's right on the back of Beckers. We're back on board now with Lovering again. He's watching all this from in his car ahead. He must be saying, wow, what a comeback to HQs. What's going on?
Yeah, just leave him alone is what he's wanting, I think, at the moment. It's Joel Heinrich. He's got the bit between his teeth now. He's smelt the incentive to get past Perry Beckers, and it's all on. As you can see, Parsons is all over the back of Furness as well in front, looking a bit further down this field. And these guys don't think the racing is as intense back down here either. These guys are still looking for position to get through to the final.
Well, of course, the ones who don't get enough points, they've got to run off on a replicharge to be able to get on the A main. So it's on for young and old. 75, that car's based in WA now, ex-Victorian car many years ago, still in the same livery. So obviously been around and looked after for a long time.
Yeah, we're on board with Jason Levitt here in the 76 car, and that was Philip Green going past, getting overtaken in that one. Another Western Australian who came over on that big truck, and the battle's going on down here as these guys make their way around through the field. You can see that there's just battles everywhere in this field all weekend. You don't know where to look. It's a great time being a spectator here.
Well, the car in front there, that's actually driven by Bradley Wickham. That's a finesse car. I'm pretty sure that won a trophy for best presented car. So beautiful looking car that Finesse owned and driven by a Tasmanian. So there you go, all the way in Queensland.
There you go. That's a long old trip to try to get yourself up here as these guys come down into the back section of the circuit, down to turn 10, and just look at this. All three of them over each other. Breen to the inside. He's going to make the move stick. Too wide into turn 10. Pangler's just sitting there, just holding his breath, hoping they don't come off or something in front of him.
Warren Wadley, there's another interesting fellow. He's been around a long time and put a bit into HQs.
Opportunistic. Oh, Perry Beckers is off. Joel Heinrich.
Both of them, side by side. Wow, that was Lovering, Heinrich and Beckers.
All coming to blows.
Survival
Beckers did it on his
fittest.
own. That's unfortunate for him. He was probably watching the guys behind, thinking, I've got to go a bit faster into turn one, and he's just lost it off the edge. Finds himself behind Truan in front of Scotty Cameron, and now look at this, Heinrich with Mitchell to deal with as well.
Yeah, two young fellas side by side. So I think when Beckers went off, I think that young Heinrich might have just followed him and went in sympathy. But there we go. Now he's got Brock Mitchell can continue. So they're about the same age. These two up-and-coming young fellas that we're going to see a lot more of in the future of motorsport. But that certainly mixed it up at the front now.
There's probably a taste of HQ Nationals to come here with these two guys now shaping up in the final stages of this race.
I would think so, but it's Finesse now. Have a look at this. It's Skippy Parsons. He's gone inside, back to the outside. He's not going to try it around the back.
Again.
You can't try it around the back of the track. This guy's not scared to have a crack anywhere on the racetrack.
There have been some wildly unconventional lines used this weekend. They're just trying everything they can to get past each other.
I tell you what, but how's it driving? They're pulling it off. Unconventional doesn't matter. These guys are pulling it off. Have a look at the commitment from these two blokes here for second and third place. There's nothing at all left. I don't care who you are, you would not drive the HQ Holden any quicker.
I think they've figured out that through that final section, if they hook the wheel up onto the ripple strip, they can pull themselves around at a bit higher speed. Everyone's cotton on to Finesse doing it. And now Parsons, that was the limit of braking there into turn 2. You can see he missed the apex of the corner. Parsons is pushing him hard. It's a great battle between these
He
two.
grabbed a little bit of rear, had a little bit sideways, and great car control. He just stomped on that throttle and drove it back up the hill. Gave away nothing, but look at Parsons any opportunity. Do you reckon Jamie might know he's there by now?
I dare say, short of putting a bit of red on the back of Jamie's bumper, Parsons giving him every notification that he wants to try to get by. And I tell you what, if you don't know what good racing is, you've got to watch some more HQs, especially here at the Nationals. These guys have just got it all going on.
Now, the good part, there's probably 30 years of age difference between these guys. Of course, Skippy won Bathurst back in the 80s. He's
Give
been
him a
around.
bump.
Hello!
There he is.
Oh, he touched him up a little bit, give him some chrome horn, just in case you didn't know. Jamie's pinched the brake. He knew he was there, all right. I tell you what, Skip's not waiting for the invite.
To the
He's
inside.
not.
It's
He's
soon
not.
the outside. They're going to run too wide through turn 9. This is impossible. Yes, he backs out of it. He had to back out of it there. He would have ended up in that tyre wall quickly.
They could have been red and green cars combined there, I reckon. What some fantastic stuff. I tell you what, they've got to be loving it. Absolutely. Do you reckon Jamie might be learning a bit of a lesson here from an old fella like Skip? He might be teaching him a few new tricks.
I think he's still learning how to defend and keep the car flowing and fast. Look at them use those curbs through the final chicane and up over the crest here again onto the main straight. Parsons now, he's going to try to lock in for the draft and see if he can force an error down into turn 1. These guys are going deeper and deeper and deeper down into here, and it's just getting crazy for these guys.
It's on for he's Lovering and young Joel Heinrich, he was on fire there, but he's made a bit of a comeback again. So maybe just that little bit of off upset the apple cart, but he's coming back and he's right on the back of now Lovering as we jump back inside with the Lovering car and have a look at this fantastic layout.
Yeah, Heinrich is right up the back behind Lovering now. He's got rid of Mitchell, and I guess he just has put his head down and tried to push on forward, though there might be some sort of issue with that car. It sounded like it was pinging a little bit on the last time through, I think.
Yeah, probably a bit of heat. They've had a couple of engine problems with that car, which is unfortunate. The Truan car now getting absolutely monstered by young Scotty. Great driver from New South Wales representing. And what have we got?
That's 19's found his way to the dirt again. That's Mark Stration, so he's managed to find his way off. We saw him, I think it was heat 1, wasn't it? Threw himself off at turn 10. So
he's checking out the scenery out here at Queensland. He's made the long trip. He may as well enjoy it. But have a look. Skippy again. Absolutely on the edge. And it's Joel Heinrich who's got past Lovering. So young Joel on an absolute mission. The car may not sound quick, but tell you what, it's going fast.
Look at Lovering, saw at the wheel there through turn 10. He's putting in all sorts of input to try to get it through. The guys are floating at this late stage. The tyres are going to be hot. He's put a wheel off on the grass as well now. But the tyres are going to be hot. The drivers are going to be tired, and it's just going to be getting worse and worse for them behind the wheel.
This is for 4th place. The young fellas, the future of HQ racing, Lovering and Heinrich, 2 of the second-generation racers.
Here we go. Parsons to the inside. He's rubbing down the inside of Finesse. Get out of the way. I'm coming through. He's made the move. Now Finesse is going to try to hold it on the outside. Hip and shoulder through turn 2. He's going to try to stick there. Finesse not backing out.
He's hung it up there. Oh, that was just... I reckon they could have absolutely put their hands out the window and shook hands there. What great stuff.
Finesse had 4 wheels on the grass.
There was a millimetre given and a millimetre taken. That is just fantastic stuff. Sensational driving by these 2 blokes.
What's amazing is that wall for turn 3 was rapidly approaching and Finesse was not backing out of the gap.
I think Jamie knows where it is. Don't worry about that. He's been there before.
Oh, Parsons has locked up and gone wide.
He's gone.
So Finesse is through again. All that hard work for Parsons, and he's put himself behind the young bloke yet again. He would be fuming inside that car.
I tell you what, this is some of the best racing I've seen. And have a look behind. Not far behind there, you've got young Joel Heinrich coming at him pretty quick. And he's dragging Lovering along.
Yeah.
So this battle for second place could be between 4 cars very quick.
And Perry Beckers is all over the back of Brock Mitchell behind as well. So it's all on all the way down through the field as Parsons has another look at Finesse in front. Here's Perry Beckers. He's managed to get past Brock Mitchell on the run down the back straight. So very well done there from Perry Beckers.
Yeah, that's fast. That car is fast this weekend. But I tell you what, this race up here between Parsons and young Jamie is just fantastic stuff. Just have test the limits of the pedal suspension.
Here we
go again.
Parsons to the outside this time. He's going to try to make it stick. It's a long way around out through turn 1 and 2, and Finesse just pushes himself over and says he's not going to get past there this time.
He's a little bit wiser, Skippy. He's gone, I'm not going around the outside like you did, son. I'll sit here and wait for my next opportunity. But have a look behind now, because here comes young Joel Heinrich. He's right in the boot of Parsons.
It's going to go 4 into turn 4 here. These guys are just all over each other, and there's got to be paint being swapped. You can't see much of it on the cars, so they're doing a good job. But here we go, Parsons trying the outside run around Furness, back to the inside.
Done the switchback.
Where do you go? They're blocking.
I tell you what, I think young Joel's all have just turned 18 years old. He's got to be sitting in between these two blokes going, are you kidding? How can you do that at your age?
Parsons trying the outside on Finesse again. He's got to back out of there. We'll see if he gets a run onto the back straight. The laps are rapidly running away from these guys here in this final heat. And if you don't think the points mean anything in this race,
Here we
it
go
definitely
again.
does.
Skippy's done it.
He's got
done
through.
It again.
No, he's got it on the outside, so Finesse is going to try to hold the inside through this kink. Oh, too
He's
wide.
pulled it off.
What
David
a
Skippy
move.
Parsons around the outside and pulled it off.
You see Lovering.
He's back inside Joel Hunt. This is just incredible stuff.
There were two passes moving simultaneously there as Joel Heinrich got overtaken by Lovering, who was sideways, a wheel on the grass. Lovering's now covering him off. Finesse is going to try to get the run onto the main straight, using all of the road a little bit more.
I'll tell you what, this is just sensational stuff. We're back in the car with Lovering. Yeah, it's pretty hard to even get a breath in here. Can you imagine these blokes in the car? It'll be about 60 degrees inside the old HQ. They'll be sweat pouring off the borough. And if you reckon Jamie Finesse is going to let up on Skippy, there is no way.
He is not done with yet, is he? Here he goes. He's all over the back of Skippy Parsons as they come under the bridge again. I reckon he's going to have a shot down here into turn 4.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's the hardest charger out there, Jamie. This is his track. He doesn't care who David Skippy Parsons is. He doesn't care if he's won Bathurst. You're on my track and we're in HQs.
Yeah.
So absolutely no respect. But Joel Heinrich now, he's lost a little bit of pace there. I think he might be in trouble.
Yeah, Perry Beckers is starting to make ground on him as well, and Bruce Heinrich has got away, and Parsons again locks up and is off at 6. So he's got some sort of issue coming through there. That's the second time he's run wide and lost the position back to Finesse.
He will be kicking himself after all that hard work. And I'll tell you what, it's pretty hard work out there. He'll be kicking himself.
When these drivers hop out of this car, there's got to be some shaking of hands and stories to tell. This is one of those races they're going to talk about for years.
They'll be down on the pitch. They'll be cheering each other. It's Stark who's getting a bit wild out there. Then with Speed's coming around
Down the
his
inside.
outside.
Oh! Gives him a hit. They're both sideways onto the back straight.
Yeah.
Well done to those guys. And Ryan Goldfinch is behind, rubbing his hands together as well.
Got to be careful, boys. Do you know, I don't know if these guys know, but HQ parts are getting really hard to get these days.
Ryan Goldfinch has driven around the outside of Spies there, but I think it was a little assisted by a slow run into the back straight. And it's just the battles down the field are just as intense as what we're seeing up the front for second and third place. It's just, where do you look? There's so much happening.
Well, it's great to see Brian doing a good job because he had a lot to do with putting this sensational event on. So it's good to see him out there and having a good run.
It's a pretty well presented car as well, that one, the orange and blue Hang Loose Racing. As we go back up towards another well presented car, the Subway goes true and is loose in front, sideways through turn 2. Wow,
Well, there's a drift of the day by Warren Truan. I'm not sure if that's what we're here for, but what a sensational save. Scotty Cameron would have been going, oh my God, let me out of here. He just checks his mouth. He probably can't believe he's still on the track behind him.
Yeah, and Truan's managed to hold it. That was well done from him. I tell you what, that one's definitely going to make the highlights reel, and people are going to be watching that one a little bit later.
Hey, we forgot about this bloke. Who's this bloke out in front?
Oh, I'm not sure. Who is it? He's driven away from everyone at the moment. So.
It's that Heinrich guy.
Yeah.
Five-time Australian champion in saloon cars. Apparently he goes all right.
Yeah, he keeps lapping quicker than everybody else at the moment. Minute 37 is his best time on lap 3. He's just checked out from the start here, and no one can lay a glove on him this weekend. You'd have to say he's on for the title.
I guess when you put a really, really good driver in a really, really good car, this is the result.
That's it, isn't it? So I tell you what, everyone else running similar engines to what's on that car, so he's probably got the best of the bunch, though, you'd have to say.
Look, Heinrich Performance, I know he certainly builds just about every engine in South Australia these days, and I think half the other states, but he's absolutely flogged him in this heat. But what some great racing for second, third and fourth. You don't get too much more entertainment than that.
No, what a great heat. There you go. Heat 6 of the weekend now for the HQ Holden Nationals here at Morgan Park. It's a launch off the line. It looks like Carter's got the jump over Beggs, and Parsons going to try to jump in there for the ride.
Yeah, Johnny Carter's been on fire this weekend. One of the local fellas having a run on the HQ, and quick as, but Gavin Porteous right up behind his mate Neil Corey there, just saying hello. They're good mates.
Yeah, they've raced against each other a lot, so obviously know where each other is in the track. It's actually John Wise in the car there as well. 2 identical cars, those HQ Holdens, so looks a lot like Parsons' car, but
Tell you
teammates.
what, Johnny Wise guy we call him, he's been on the podium lots and lots and lots of times in the Nationals. The poor bloke's run second that many times. He's got a bit of a complex about it, so I hope Wise has a good run this weekend.
Gets himself up there as Woodbridge comes through, and we've got another one off further down the field. Who's that? That is number 69. So he's found the grass early. That's Scott Andriski. So he's made his way out there.
Brett Turner's finally back on the track. Poor old Brett Turner. He's had more problems than you care to think about this weekend. He's finally got to start a heat, and he's going all right.
Yeah, he's in there next to Shuttlewood, so these guys have got a bit of a battle going on of their own further down the field. And just look at this, it's the last chance for these guys to get points to make it into the final, avoid that repechage, though we're hearing that might not be much of an issue with the repechage this weekend. But look at this, Tony Maloney to the inside, and it's all about the points in this final race.
Nice clean pass there, nice clean pass. Woodbridge, long-time campaigner in HQ's, been around, done a lot of good things for the class. Good to have him out over here in Queensland, all the way from WA. And he's in behind a bit of a battle there, led by Metam, who of course is another fast fellow all the way out of WA.
Oh, Joe Andreski taking a wild ride across. He's trying out the new final corner. They're planning to put that one in next year, I think. So they got him to do that one early on.
Happy days, absolutely getting monstered by Gary Beggs. Beggsy's been on fire too this weekend. I tell you what, for a fellow who doesn't normally race a HQ, he's come out and absolutely showed these blokes he knows how to drive these things.
Yeah, Bonwick was sideways in the background of that one as well. We've got another one off. That's number 13, so that is... I'm not sure who that is actually. Bruce French. So he's found his way off as Carter uses all the road on the inside to keep Beggs behind. It's all on at the front. The Carter's thing's starting to puff away a little bit. I wonder if there's an issue with that car.
It is, and I tell you what, Beggsy's not going to let up, and don't look in your mirror, because wise guys know dope. He knows how to drive these things. And Neil Corey, little Peter Pan, again with his fairy dust, he's always there. He's
right
just
there,
like a little pesky blowfly. He won't go away.
He knows that if he just holds it there, he'll have a chance of these guys in front. You've got Gary Bonwick as well, who has had a rough start to the weekend. He's starting to make his way back through the field, and Gavin Porteous is there as well. So these guys, they're all over each other, and these cars have been tight all weekend. It's going to be on here later on.
I tell you what, it's on right now. Wisey then just had a little bit of a look around the outside of Beggsy. But John Carter, he's doing a ripper job. Oh, it is. It's Corey. He's done a big dive up the inside of Johnny Wise. What a move. I think he caught Wisey napping a little bit there, and he just drove it on him.
That was a great move. He's now off after Beggs, and Bonwick is coming up behind as well with Wise. So these guys are going to make a race of this at the front. They're using all the road. See how the grass is worn away there on the outside of the track? There's been so many people trying that line as we come through the final corner here with Booker, and he's all over the back of, I think there's Brian Edhouse in front, and
Tony Maloney in the orange
Tony
car.
Maloney, yeah, that's it. So he's trying for his way past Joe Andreski to the outside. That's going to be an interesting run. We've seen a few of the front guys do it this weekend.
Oh, I love these HQ holders. You see the suspension travel, it's incredible. They use every bit they've got and a bit more. The top of the tyre will be banging the inside of the car. You've got to remember, these cars were built in the 70s.
Yeah, they're going hard as they come under the bridge here. Joe Andreski trying to stay in front of them. He's used some alternate lines, and here he goes again down the inside. He's going to try to hold them all behind. Look at this, 3 wide behind him. They're going to monster him here in a second.
Maloney's stuck in there. That's Wilson.
Tony Maloney taking the opportunistic move to get the position. Now he's on the outside, though. He's going to have to hang it round out there.
And look at Booker in the back of him. He's just trying to find his way through the middle. Wilson's not going away. He's going to try to stay on the outside.
Here you go. He's going to try to hold it through turn 6. Now he's got the right line for turn 7. Oh!
The front of the car, Wilson's looks like it's been in a couple of close battles as well. But Tony Maloney, he's not going to go away. Tony's never scared of a little bit of a panel rub.
There's definitely been panel rubbing there, and you can see the go-kart stickers down the side there of Wilson. I think he's used to a bit of go-karting.
Oh, Booker's got inside him too.
Look at that. 2 wide down into this turn 9.
He's going to be on the outside. Wilson's going to have a look. No, he's pulled out of it, and he's given Booker the run. Great racing, boys. Good to watch.
That was great between those guys. What a great exchange between 4 cars all the way around the circuit. It's taken them the whole track to work themselves out into a new order. And it'll be on again here as we go into the next lap. You can guarantee it.
Yeah, doesn't matter whether you're first or last. And talking about first and last, have a look at this. Beggsy still on the back of Carter. Carter's thing looks like it's struggling, but mate, look, there's a little puff of smoke here. But I tell you what, he's not slowing down. Beggsy can't get past him. It's not from lack of trying.
Beggsy was right on the limit there through turn 1 and 2. You can see the car just on the edge of its grip, and it was starting to slide. He's still trying to feed more into it, though. He's doing anything he can to get past Carter, because these guys have a real chance now to get enough points to get themselves on the front row and perhaps have a chance of beating Bruce Heinrich down into turn 1.
Well, that's it. There's a little bit of smoke coming out of Carter's car. I tell you what, if he's vulnerable whatsoever, Beggsy's going to jump on him because he's pushing hard. Looks fantastic, the 44 car, with a bit of backing from Coates Hire this weekend. But you see that? Again, just a little bit of telltale smoke. So, oh, gee, I hope Carter's thing's all right, but he looks like he might be in a bit of strife.
Yeah, it's puffing away and it's getting worse. So Beggs will be rubbing his hands together, hoping that it does eventuate into some sort of bigger problem, because if he can be handed the lead a lot quicker, he'll be happier with that, won't he? He can get away from these cars behind.
Where the heck did Bonwick come from? We haven't even mentioned him, and now he's sitting right in behind Corey. This I mean, if you're ever going to write someone off, how about, I think he's 5-time Australian HQ champion. Man, this guy's got some ability, and around his home track, and he's coming. He's right on the back of Neil Corey, and it's going to be on all over again.
He's got Corey in his sights, but I dare say Corey's not going to want to give that position away. Here they come through this section. Look at the attitude the cars get through there. That is a great corner to watch from as we go on board with the front of Bonwick. He's hunting Corey down as they come down the main straight.
Gary Bonwick, I tell you what, talk about a HQ legend. And it's his mate Beggsy at the moment.
Oh, huge slide.
That's commitment. You reckon he didn't have a go there? That was right 100% on the edge. And here we go again, great shot out the front of Bonwick's car. This bloke, again, got some great car control.
As we look further down the field to these guys, Pratt's starting to buy into this battle as well. He's got through on a couple of them, so now he's all over the back of Andresti and Brooker as they're coming under the bridge as well. So we can't forget these battles further down the field, because they're just as intense as what we're seeing for the lead.
It's hard to know where to look.
Look at this. Look at these cars coming down the hill. There's about 15 different lines being used between 5 cars there. They're all switching it up like nobody's business.
It looks like peak hour, doesn't it, with the amount of traffic? There's absolutely nobody giving way to anyone out here. They're racing right through. They want points. They want to make points. It is the biggest race meeting for the year for these HQ Holdens.
And Carter's moved to the inside there. That car's slowed. I think those issues have developed for him. He's back to 4th place. Oh, that's not good for him. That's going to
what a shame. Donny Carter, one of the local fellas, been putting on a ripper show this weekend with great speed. But have a look at this. All of a sudden now, Neil Corey is right on Beggsy's bumper bar. So it's gone from Beggsy challenging for the lead. All of a sudden now, Corey is right on his rear bumper bar.
Yeah, and Bonwick's in there as well. He's made his way through to 3rd. Wise and Porty are starting to fall away a little bit, I guess you could say. So they're going to get into their own battle for 4th and 5th places. But it is on between these guys at the front. Look at Neil Corey looking left and right. He's going to go around the outside on Beggs here. Too wide into turn 1. Oh, hold your breath. Oh, Beggs is sideways. Corey's not going to give up.
And Bonwick's stuck right in the inside. I tell you what, it's a catch-22, isn't it? You don't if you don't. Corey's had one little cracker going around the side, and before he knows it, bang, Bonwick straight in, and Bonwick now looking to the outside of Beggs. This is incredible.
Everyone's trying the outside move at the moment, as it looks like Wise and Porteous are getting it on at the back there as well. So it's all on. Bonwick sideways.
Bonwick hangs it out. This is fantastic stuff. Neil Corey now starting to have a look back around the outside.
He just can't split these.
He has. He's stuck it in there. Have a look at that. He's hung onto it. What a move.
Pushes Bonwick out of the way. Says, I was there a minute ago. Let me back at him. He's going to go for Beggs here onto the back straight. It's going to be a run down into turn 10, and that's where the next passing opportunity is. Watch for these guys to try to float it through 9 and make as much ground as they can under brakes into turn 10.
Oh, this is magnificent stuff. Beggsy at the moment's got a little bit of a pressure here with Bonwick and Corey fighting, and behind them we've got Porteous and Wise also nose to tail. So it's on from 1st to 5th at the moment.
I think Bonwick's going to be having a go here in a second. Corey's made up ground to beat. They're making a lot of ground up on Beggs there through turn 10. I think these two behind him can just flow it through this back section of the course. And look at this, all over the back of him now. Watch for them to take as much ripple strip as they can to hook it up onto the straight. Here we go. Now the power comes into play.
Yeah, Bonwick might have missed the run a little bit there, but it's Corey. He's got some speed.
He's all over the back of Beggs now. He's moving to the outside again. He's tried it out there before. He just feinted out there, though. See, he got Beggs to cover the
He's
line.
probably remembered the lap before. Last time he tried that before, he knew it. He lost a spot. It's this is HQ Racing at its absolute best. And I'll tell you what, you're seeing three of the best here. What a great shot out the front of Gary Bonwick's car.
He's going to try it here at turn 4, you can guarantee. It looks like Corey's going to try for the outside as well. As we take a look further back, there's a bit of an issue back here. Oh,
Kenny from WA.
He's done what everybody else has been trying to do all weekend and got both lots of grass, inside and outside turn 1 and 2.
I hope he can get it going again here. We don't want to cause a problem, but great slide. Oh, Bonwick to the outside. No.
He's going to do it.
Oh, no, you can't
rubbed,
do that.
They've rubbed panels in the mid-corner.
I tell you what, you can't do that with one good driver and one bad. It takes two good drivers to race like this.
Look,
It's
he's held
still
it out
on.
there. He's holding it. Here we go into turn 6 side by side.
I'm sure he knows he's there now. Great. He switched back to the inside. Oh, this is fantastic stuff.
We came here this weekend and multiple people were saying Morgan Park is a small, tight, twisty circuit that's not going to promote a lot of overtaking. They've been proven wrong here with this race.
Oh.
Just look at these guys. They've swapped positions that many times, but they're still stuck. As Corey now to the outside through turn 2, turn 10, he's not going to do it there, surely.
No,
you can't hold it. He's going to try. Here we go. Watch for them to come out the other side. He's going to take a bit of grass. No, Bonwick sideways behind. Oh, 3 wide. Beggs has made it. He's held position. Bonwick was on the limit of control coming into the corner.
Beggsy must have nerves of steel right now. He must be looking.
Corey's
you
still
have to be
arguing this.
Yes, and around the outside.
Look at him. He's loose onto the
Beggsy's-
straight. Here we
Beggsy's
go.
run a little wide.
3 wide onto the straight. Oh, it's all on. This is not the final lap. It's only halfway through this race. And now Bonwick finds his way to the lead. What a move.
This is fantastic stuff. All of a sudden, Beggsy was first. Oh, he's third. What happened?
Imagine being Neil Corey in that situation. You fought and you fought and you fought and you still find yourself second behind a black car. You're wondering what's going on.
Oh, well, I don't even know if he's probably worked out that they've actually changed the lead by now. It's Gary Bonwick, the absolute local legend now out in front. But I'll tell you what, the race isn't over. Oh, you'd be a brave man to call who's going to win this one already.
It's going to be a cigarette paper between the three of them at the line, I think. You can guarantee that. Just look at this, nose to tail. Corey pulls to the outside. They're going to go 2 wide again down to turn 6. Bonwick must have missed a gear there out of the corner.
He's driven around his outside. This is absolutely intense driving. And Beggsy's back to second. And Bonwick's back to... Well, at least they've all had to go at lead now.
Now everyone's had a shot. We'll see who finishes up crossing the line first. You can see Beggsy's going to try to... I think he's going to try to do to Corey around the outside what just happened to him. Here we go, on board with Bonwick.
I would not put anything past these three protagonists. This is just fantastic stuff.
Look at this. Bonwick's going to try it. He saw Corey do it last lap. Here we go. Outside at turn 9. No, he's going to switch back in behind him. He's got him. But look at fire it to the inside. Oh, what driving between these guys.
Running out of room quickly there, but I tell you what, it's good to see. Little Peter Pan, he's got that fairy dust. Neil Corey, this bloke's a bit of a legend in HQ racing. Comes out 2 or 3 times a year at the big events, and he just does this time and time again.
Look at them slide it through that final corner. They're all just pushing these cars to the edge of what they can do. Beggs has got the run onto the straight. He's going to try for the outside now. So now it's Beggs' turn on the outside at turn 1. We'll see if he can do it. Corey wasn't successful earlier in the race. He's going to nudge him out. Look at that. You see how late Corey was on the brakes there? Just force him out. Bonwick, opportunistic, up the inside, takes the position. What a move.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, I reckon Beggsy was concentrating so hard on trying to get Corey there, he did not even see Gary coming, and Gary just one little opportunity, he put it straight in there.
Now Neil Corey's got himself a bit of breathing space as we take a look at Tony Maloney and Pratt here. These guys are battling as well with Joe Andreski, and it's on down amongst them as well. They've been passing each other for position multiple times a lap. Here you go, they're going to have a run at Joe Andreski as they come down to turn 4.
Yeah, a couple of fast cars there, Maloney and Pratty. Pratty does well in South Australia. He's made the trip over with the rest of them. But fast cars behind Andreski, so he needs to certainly keep the thing online because these blokes behind him will keep him honest.
Yeah, as we go on board with Brooke, he's trying to hold off the number 4 car of Grant Ord, so they're in their own little battle. I think Grant Ord is another Western Australian who's come over, isn't he?
He certainly is, one of the fast blokes from WA, struggling a little bit over in Queensland, but with our on the other in the countryside. But great effort by the WA blokes to bring so many cars over for this weekend.
They've done really well and putting on a great show. Joe Andreski looked like he'd run a little bit wide there. They've knocked over a few cones on the outside that are meant to show the track limits. Here's Tony Maloney to the inside, using all of the road and a bit more to try the move. So you can't say it's not on between these guys either. They're putting on a show as well further down the field.
It's probably lucky their officials haven't got the same footage that we can see, because I think these guys might be testing the boundaries of the racetrack.
They've been a bit liberal with their interpretation of racing line, haven't they? And racing room.
Oh, we've got a spinner.
That is
Graham Bolter.
That's Graham Bolter. Yeah, he's bolted off the road. The South Australian trying a new dirt track experience.
Long-time campaigner in HQ racing. Certainly done a lot for HQs over the year, and great bloke GB, so he's having a ball out there. You know what? He'd be smiling about that. He would have enjoyed it.
Yeah, he'd be smiling, and he'd be cheering on Neil Corey here at the front as well, fellow South Australian, hoping they can take one home for the team as Beggs gives Bonwick a push along out of turn 4. He wants to get past Corey, saying, get up there, let me follow you through.
I tell you what, this is on. I don't know how we're going here, but this race is just one of the best races I've seen for a long time. Neil Corey, there, look, he's actually held the lead for all of about 2 laps at the moment. That's very rare.
Well, he only needs to hold it for half a lap more and he'll take out the Heat 6 victory. And I tell you what, probably one of the most well-deserved victories of the weekend. This has got to be the closest race between the guys. We'll see if they can try to go 3 wide again into turn 10. Bonwick is in the draft. He's going to try it. Here we go to the inside. He's switched back. Oh, Corey covers him off. Well done there.
Beggsy's just sitting back going, come on, you blokes, duke it out on there for the pieces.
See Corey dive for the apex. He was having none of anyone trying to dive him. The problem is he's going to be slow out here. There you go, Bonwick, straight to the inside.
He's going to have a look.
Oh, you're not going to make a move there into these final corners. You've got to just get a run onto the straight. Here you go. Watch for Beggs here. He's probably got the best run onto the straight. He's going to get past Bonwick.
He's got the run up the hill.
Corey has made it home. They're not going to catch him now. So Corey takes the race victory. Oh, Bonwick just gets home for second. Gary Beggs in third. Gavin Porteous fourth. And John Wise coming home in fifth. That's probably our best race of the weekend going into this final race.
And there's still more to come.
One more race after this one, the final. We look forward to that one. What a great race. Let's go down to the pits now where Wayne Healy has our pole sitter.
Well, at Morgan Park, the pole position goes to Bruce Heinrich for the national championship final race, mate. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks for that. I didn't expect it to be sort of, in this position, sort of, when I come here, but yeah, it's all good.
Mate, with these lurks and perks, we got a little prize for you. I'm going to invite Brian to come in and give you a little present.
Sweet.
Congratulations, Bruce. Bruce, well done, mate. I'd like to present you with this check. Cool. Right, for $150. There you go.
Brian, it's been a fantastic weekend, but it's not over. It's only just starting. It's just a pole position. Everything's going really well.
That's right. This is just the pole position for the main race. We now have the repechage coming up where 16 cars will battle it out for 31st to 40th position.
Well, let me tell you, after watching the heats, 6 heats of fantastic racing, I can't wait for 40 cars. Bruce, once again, mate, congratulations on the pole. A massive effort, and you've done really well. Congratulations on that, and I hope you go all the way.
Thanks for that, Wayne. I hope so too.
Well, there you have it. We've got one major race to go. The repechage is going out. Let's see how everyone goes.
Thanks for that, Wayne. Down in the pits with Bruce Heinrich, who is undoubtedly a very happy man. $150 towards probably his next engine, so everybody better watch out for that one next year. But first up, we've got the final of this year. The IXL girls going around the track, giving everybody a friendly wave as they lead the field out for this final race. It's going to be a cracker. 40 cars on the grid and 20 laps ahead of us. So make sure you join us after the break for that one on Blendline TV.
Morgan Park HQ Nationals are just about to go out for their final race, the 20-lap race for the National Championship. Jamie Finesse is just about to go out. We'll have a quick word to him and see how he's going. Jamie, how are you, mate?
Not too bad, apart from having no voice.
Mate, yeah, what's going on? Have a big night, did we?
No, quiet night. I think that was the problem.
Mate, well, look, I won't let you talk too much. Mate, second spot, though. You must be happy with that. Although, what do you got to do to catch Bruce?
Oh, mate, I think he's gone. I'm really over the moon to be here. I really didn't expect to be here, but hey, we'll give it a shot. It's not over till it's over, so see how we go.
All right, mate. Well, good luck, and you're flying the flag for Queensland up here, so good luck with that.
Yeah, thank you.
Perry Beckers, how are you, mate? Everything all right?
Yeah, everything's
Looks good.
Yeah, car's running really well. Just had a bit of an off on the last race and put me back to 5th. We got a second and a third. It's all going well. Car's really good. It's seems to like the longer races better. So hopefully we'll be at the pointy end at the end of the day.
Well, mate, I'll let you have your water. I just wanted to say good day and wish you luck, and you're doing well, so keep it up, and the car looks great. Hopefully you do well, and you might even pick up a podium spot.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Well, there you go. So he's pretty happy. He's pretty happy with the way everything's going in the car. So let's catch up with a couple other guys. Going to catch up with Gavin Porteous from South Australia before he goes out and see what his views are. Gav, how are you, mate? Everything going well?
Yeah, bloody car's fantastic. Having a ball up here. But I think the old driver's a bit past it, but we'll have a go.
Mate, you're one of the nicest blokes I've ever met in HQ racing. You deserve to be up here, and mate, you kill it down to South Australia. You kill it wherever you go. You're very well liked. It's great to see you up here.
Yeah, no, well, thanks for that. No, I'm having a ball up here. And the camaraderie with all the HQ blokes is fantastic.
Mate, but for 20 laps, you've got to be a bit mean, a bit keen, and try and get in front of these guys, eh?
You've got to do that, but you've got to be there at the end. That's the killer.
Yeah, these cars aren't designed to do big lap races, so let's see how you go, mate. I'm hoping you do well. I'm backing you, mate, so good luck, eh?
Yeah, we'll just push for hard as we can and see what happens at the other end.
All right, mate, take care. Good luck.
Bud. See ya.
All right, we'll just have a quick word with Gary Bonwick as well. Gary's one of the leading drivers in HQs up here in Queensland. Hey, Gary, how are you going, mate? Everything going well?
Yeah, it's good today, mate. We had a few dramas yesterday, and the first race there before, I managed to get to the lead, and we had a little bit of another fuel pressure issue, but we think we've got it right now, but very happy with the car today other than that. Yeah, thank you.
Well, you're very well accomplished driver in HQs. You've won this event numerous times. Although this is, it's just not a walk in the park, is it? It's one of these things where once in a year you just come here and do the best and hope for the best.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to do 10 nationals before, and I reckon this one's going to be the toughest for me. Yeah, it's going to be on. It'll be a great race to watch.
Mate, exactly right. I can't wait to watch this 1 hour race. All the best out there, mate. Have fun, and don't forget, yeah, you got your nephew to beat. He's going to rub it in. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, don't remind me, please.
All right, mate, leave you to it. Let you concentrate, get the work done, and all the best out there.
No worries. Thank you very much.
There you go. He's won the championship a few times, and he's keen as mustard to get out there. And like he said, it's going to be one of the toughest events he's ever had. So let's see what he can do. We're going to catch up quickly with Scotty Cameron, only New South Wales guy to come up here for the Nationals. We have Western Australians, South Australians, Victorians, a big contingency here in Queensland, Tasmanian. The only one we don't have is Northern Territory, but we've got one New South Wales guy, so I'm going to catch up with him before he goes out. Scotty, how you doing, mate? Everything going okay?
Yeah, mate, all good. Just getting ready for the race, yep.
Mate, you've gone out and had a bit of fun. You got a chance to drive a beautiful ute today as well.
Yeah, mate, yeah, it's been a great opportunity. IXL Lubricants have let me jump in the car, so yeah, it's been good.
Mate, it's great to have a sponsor like that come on board for the whole weekend for both for the Nationals. Mate, what was the ute like?
Oh, mate, just had a ball, heaps of grunt, and yeah, just can't describe it. It's great fun. I've really enjoyed it and like to do it again sometime.
All right, mate. Well, you got to take the ute out of your head. You're jumping in a HQ, back in the HQ, yep. Mate. You're the only New South Wales driver up here, mate. That means you're definitely the quickest. But you know that you're going to cop it no matter what.
Yeah, that's it, mate. No, just flying the flag for the state, mate, and yeah, we'll see how we go.
Well, mate, I'm sure you'll get a top 10 finish. I know you're in 14th, so let's, mate, I'm hoping you get a top 10 and then we can rip it right up them all.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Good on you, mate. Brandon Madden, one of the Queensland guys, just about to go out and sitting in 15th spot. One of the locals here. Mate, I'm going to have a quick chat with him, see how we're going. How you feeling, mate?
Mate, a bit nervous. First Nationals, so be good.
It's a bit of fun, the HQs. How did you get involved?
It's my girlfriend's dad. He started up through work and went and watched him for a couple of races and just decided that it was a good fun sport to do, so got into it.
Oh, so it was a bit of peer family pressure, mate.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But it's a great ride, isn't it?
Yeah.
First Nationals, there's 40 cars on here, mate. You've got to be pretty happy with that.
Mate, it's awesome. Just after the year I've had this year, like starting off a bit squirrely, but now it's coming through. It's getting better and better each race, mate, and so it's going to be good.
Mate, being Queenslander, do you find it's a bit of pressure on you?
Yes and no. I know there's a lot of fast guys out here, so it's going to be beating the rookies. It's going to be fun. See how we go, I guess.
Mate, it's good to see a rookie doing so well, especially from Queensland. I'm New South Wales, mate. We don't really like you guys, but that's all right. We'll get there. All the best, mate. Have fun out there. Bring the car back and you nice and safe.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that,
All right, have a good day.
Well, now it's time for something a little bit different here at the HQ Oldham Nationals. Thanks to sponsor IXL Lubricants, we have got a speed comparison to show you guys, put on a bit for the fans that are around the circuit, and just to show a bit of the evolution of motorsport. We've got the fastest HQ of the weekend, Bruce Heinrich. Here he is, leading down into turn 2 at the moment. This, of course, is a staggered race, so the guys all being let off at intervals, and the aim is to catch each other before the lap finish. The man with it all to do, though, is Scott Cameron in the IXL Lubricants ute. Look at it here, coming through turn 2. A wonderfully presented machine, and Scott Cameron really having a ball getting the chance to get behind the wheel of that one. He is chasing down first the Swift of Jarvis. Thanks to the Australian Swift Series for giving us one of the cars to be able to show the differences here. Of course, the Swift, a very small front-wheel drive car. It's going to come into its own around the back of the circuit and should catch the HQ just due to its nimbleness and its ability to accelerate out of the corners. Of course, Bruce Heinrich, though, he's giving it all he's got. He's been ragging that car all weekend. And you can be sure he's not going to be trying to give it away to a Swift or a ute here. He wants to hold the HQ flag and wave it high for the spectators that are here. Everybody coming out to have a watch of this one. It's a pretty interesting race. And most notably is that ute at the back. Just have a listen to it as it comes down the straight here. Such a fantastic noise from V8 of the Ford under the bonnet of that one. Scott Cameron behind the wheel, New South Wales HQ driver. We'll see him a little bit later on in the final of the weekend. He's not going to catch the Swift in the HQ up front, though. Bruce Heinrich might make it home here. Jarvis is going to be charging to try to get there. It's going to be interesting as they come over the crest. We'll have to wait for the next shot to see what happens. Scott Cameron, unfortunately, out of it. The handicapping just not working for him. And on the line, Jarvis gets there to take the victory by a hair width. So a great result. Unfortunately, the ute not quite handicapped correctly, so he had to sit behind, but still a great show. And thanks to the sponsors, IXL Lubricants, for that one. Hopefully we'll be able to see a few more of those in coming events. Anyway, that's all we got time for in this segment. We'll be back after the break with more action at Morgan Park. Now it's time for the final race of the weekend. This is it. This is the one that will decide our national championship. They're on the grid now, Kev Stoopman. This race is going to be a hectic battle from the start.
Oh, look, can anybody beat Bruce Heinrich? The man is absolutely freakishly fast today, and he's on the front row, so it's pretty hard to pick anybody knocking off Brucey.
It's done well for Jamie Furness getting himself onto the front row of the grid as well. Neil Corey's right there. Beggs is there as well. We've seen them put on a great show earlier on in Heat 6. And only a couple of seconds away now from this final race of the weekend. It's been a great weekend at Morgan Park with the HQs for the Nationals. 48 cars getting onto the grid for this final race of the weekend, and just look at this. Here we go. They're still coming up over the hill. This is going to be, where do you look in this sort of race?
It's just better already. Turn 1 and it's on. It's on straight from the start. Skippy Parsons, and he's got young Lovering around his outside. They're 2 by 2, and they're going to go 2 by 2, I reckon, about the whole of the first lap.
Lovering is not willing to give up, and just look at this shot from the bridge. Here come the HQs underneath us. Just look at that. You can see them all trying to tuck their way in, running too wide at some areas, and just then coming down into turn 4. And there's a full field. You don't know where to look. Looks like Parsons is going down the inside of Wise. They're going side by side.
Team boss. He was very squirmy under brakes too. He pressed that brake pedal hard.
Scott Cameron has moved in there as well. Corey's gone to the outside of Beggs. Lovering's trying to hold off Bonwick. It's all on, as we've said already in this lap.
What a great start from Heinrich. And I tell you who else got a great start. Have a look right behind him. Jamie Furness. He's actually run with Bruce and used the opportunity to try to get a bit of a break from the angry pack behind him.
I think Furness knows that if he can run with Heinrich in this early stages, he'll get away from that group, and he may well be able to hold on for a top 3 position at the end of this race. He's looked strong all weekend. I don't doubt he can do it. But look at this. Beggs is now being pushed by Wise. Is it behind him or Parsons? I'm not sure who got through there in that end.
Two great-looking cars in cars. Bit of recar sponsorship this weekend. Pretty hard to know.
Parsons.
It is Parsons, who's up on the inside of Begsy too. These two guys have seen a lot of each other this weekend from a very similar view.
They're going too wide into the final chicane. Who's going to come out the other side? Beggs gives there, so that's going to give him a bad run onto the straight, and he's going to have Wise to deal with by the time we get down to turn 1. He's going to need to defend here and defend hard to make sure that he doesn't get swamped by the pack behind.
Becker's had a massive slide through there as well. He's shown.
Oh, he's up the inside.
Begsy.
Dives, Parsons. Lovering's given Wise a hit, and there's Bonwick. Straight up the inside, seizes the opportunity.
And he's going to hang around the I reckon Begsy had a look at this. I don't know the difference between these two cars, so I'll pass both of them.
Look at that, too wide up the bridge. You've got Scott Cameron pulling in, Truan's there as well. Looked like Tony Maloney making a move further down in the field as well as Gavin Porteous to the inside.
Yeah, he just shut that door pretty quick because he saw there was young Brock Mitchell coming through the inside. I tell you what, we got young Lovering. He's been really aggressive. He's got no respect for a 5-time champion. He doesn't care who he's racing.
He's going to have to watch out here, though, because if he gets himself into the wrong position with Bonwick, Porteous is going to be all over him. I think Bonwick's locked up. He's made the corner. But look at the dent in the front of that HQ of Lovering. He's given somebody a love tap in these early stages.
Yeah, the headlight hanging out of the front of that HQ Holden. I tell you what, some great looking HQ Holdens out here this weekend as well. Perry Beckers, there we go. He's been a bit of a dark horse all weekend. He's right up on the point into the field, right behind Neil Corey at the moment.
Yeah, he's your pick for the weekend. I've been keeping a tab on him as well. He's coming on strong, and this is the race you got to do it in. There's no more need for points anymore. I don't think anyone's been holding back all weekend, but if you've held anything back till now, that last 5%, now's the time to throw it on the table and see what you can come out with.
You reckon the guys aren't keen? They don't care if they're racing for a podium or they're racing for 15th. This is 15th in Australia.
Yeah.
They don't care. That's an achievement.
Look at that.
Absolutely all the track and a bit more. Bonwick throws some rocks up at Lovering and says, if you're going to sit that close, you're going to wear it. But have a look at Lovering. He's not going away. He's absolutely all over the back of Mr. Bonwick.
He just won't give up, will he? He really wants that position. He's driving the wheels off this thing right now and doing an awesome job. There's going to be a few guys looking at him for next year. You'd have to say that if he comes to the next Nationals and the track suits him and his style, he's going to be right up there.
There's a whole heap of young blokes certainly showing some form at the moment. And there's another big move at Skippy Parsons again on his teammate. Johnny Wise actually owns those two cars. I'm not too sure he's going to be happy about old Skippy passing him on the racetrack.
No, as it looked like Joel Heinrich got down the inside of Brendan there as well, coming through turn 4. So he's off after Scott Cameron, our New South Wales competitor in the Subway car. Our lone representative for New South Wales here. Of course, I'm a bit biased being from New South Wales. We want to get Scott Cameron up there for the boys, but I tell you what, Joel Heinrich's doing well. They've put another motor, I think, in that one before
They've
the
had
final.
a tough weekend in the 47 car. That's a bit of a combination. South Australian driver and Victoria own car. But good to see another one of the young fellas up there and a future representative of HQ Holden, I'm sure. But have a look at this. He's one of the veterans, Gavin Porteous.
Inside? No, backs out of it. You know what I love seeing though? Look at this freight train of cars here. They're not moving away from each other in this final. We're 3 laps in and everyone's still all over each other.
I'll tell you what, by lap 10, these things, the brake pedal's going to feel absolutely terrible. It'll be like 4 sponges on the race car trying to hold it together. You've got to remember, these HQs, they're running standard radial tyres and they're doing 160 odd k's an hour on them. So it's going to be nice to drive by the time they finish this race.
And of course this race is almost double the length of all the other races this weekend, so it's a long time to be in the saddle. It's late in the afternoon here and it's really hot at Queensland at the moment. As at Bonwick to the inside of Wise. Wise is going to try to hold it and look at Lovering. He's rubbing his hands together. He wants that position.
And Brock Mitchell in the back. Hey, now Wise and Bonwick do the annual 4-hour race down in Victoria together every year. They're normally teammates, so this is good to see them duking it out on the racetrack.
Lovering's trying for the inside here. He's going to do the opportunistic move. He's got himself to the inside of Wise. Here we go, hip and shoulders into turn 5. And Porteous is going to try his luck around the outside as well.
Gavin Porteous and Brock Mitchell. Poor old Johnny Wise, he's getting his ears boxed. Have a look at that. He stepped out sideways once to be nice to his teammate, and next thing he knows, bang, there's the freight train.
There's the ripple strip. He's done some damage underneath the car. He's got to hold Porteous out now. Mitchell, he's going to have the run. Here we go onto the back straight. Porteous hasn't given an inch there.
No way, they're not going to give an inch neither. I tell you what, this is fantastic to see, isn't it? One little slip up, you leave the door open for 1 second, and I tell you what, they keep coming back. Look at this.
Too wide into turn 9 again. We thought that move wasn't possible at the start of the weekend. We've been proven time and time again how wrong that is, and now we're going to continue running too wide into turn 10. There's Mitchell. He's got the inside. Now
Poor
it's
old
his turn.
Johnny Wise, man, has he got his hand? You know what, Gavin Porteous is, he's a big lovable. I reckon he would have given Johnny Wise a bit of a wave on his way past him. But Brock Mitchell's now got through. Poor Wisey. Who was that?
Where are they? They're gone. Everyone's using the dirt on the exit of the corner. I think that was Lovering getting well wide, and that's given Porteous a run on him. And look at this. Joel Heinrich is coming up past them as well. And wow, Porteous to the outside.
He has been holding back. Look at this. He's showing some form now.
Oh, turns in on him.
Fantastic stuff, guys. Gavin Porteous, previous Australian champion over there in WA, actually. Great driver, great bloke, knows how to punt these things around. So I'll tell you what, don't write him off.
He's going to hold it now. Lovering is going to be last on the late breakers down into turn 4. You'll see here, there you go. He's made the move back. Mitchell switches back and makes position as well. That was great aware driving from Mitchell. He's gained 2 positions into turn 6.
And a nice sign of driving there from Lovering. Just put his hand up and waved. He acknowledged the fact that they're trying to give each other room and doing the best they can.
Oh, Porteous back in there.
Yeah. Thanks for the wave, but I'm coming back through. I hope that wave was to say, I'm coming back.
Yeah. I think Porteous thought that was a wave to let me back in, as it looks like someone pulling off to the back there. I think that's Stuart Kenny having a few issues.
And on the back of Johnny Wise now, you got young Joel Heinrich, but here we go, Skippy Parsons. These guys, they must be, this is fantastic stuff. Oh, Skip, I'll tell you what, he's reliving the 80s at the moment with his driving. He's been driving fantastic this weekend.
Yeah, making a return to the HQs, and tell you what, he might well make a full-time return to the series at this rate. He's doing really well.
He's doing a good job mixing it out there with Gary Bonwick, but right through the field, I just can't believe how good this racing is. We've got 40 cars here this weekend battling out in the final, and right through the whole pack. It's just fantastic racing. Here's some of the WA guys again, mixed in with Praddy, of course, from South Australia.
Yep, Michael McLeod there all over the back, making as much ground as he can as they come through this final complex. And look at them go, these guys.
Mickey McLeod, he's a nice bloke. He's been on and off in HQ racing over many years. And I'll tell you what, he's been a pretty fair punter, so it just shows the level of competition out there.
Yeah, Stark making his way up the hill. They're all over the back of Pratt, though. They want to make a position on him. And just look at these guys as well. 6, 7, 8 of them in a row. Anybody gives an inch. Oh, it's that Wood.
That's the old
It's
fossil.
off.
Old Reggie.
Oh, Pratt's going to make it.
Many, many years ago, old Reggie Wood did some Outback documentaries. Maybe he's just reliving the history there.
Down here at turn 2, you'll find many cars off. Look at this group come under the bridge again. They've all swapped positions again as we come down to turn 4. McLeod's trying to look to the inside. They're just trying any move they can at the moment on each other.
Woodbridge saw him coming there and
Yeah.
moved over and said, "No, mate, I'm sorry. That gate has been closed very
Stark
quickly."
sliding his way through. Looks like Beckers is making ground on Corey as well. So the battle continues at the front, and just look at this field. You really just so many battles happening. All these guys racing like they're racing for the outright lead, but that belongs to Bruce Heinrich at the moment. He's marching away with it.
Oh, Bruce, he's absolutely killing them at the moment. He's in a class of his own out there. But the race for second, we've got another Heinrich written all over the side of Neil Corey's car. But Perry Beckers, I'm not too sure. He catches him, he drops off. He catches him, he drops off. But I reckon he might actually be holding back for a bit of a lunge at the end.
He might well try to do it as well, as we look at Tony Maloney trying to catch up to Scott Cameron and Truan there as well. These guys just on the back half of the top 10, they're engaging in a pretty good battle. You got Brooke behind him, he's trying to close in as well. I think I saw Joe Andreski down there as well. So there's a fair few guys with speed further down this field, and they're going to start coming together soon enough, and it's going to be on.
As the race goes on, when it's going to count, a lot of these cars are going to suffer from detonation. It's getting a little bit warmer out there. The car's getting a lot of underbody temperature. The brakes are starting to fade away. The water temperature's probably going to hot. So this would just be interesting to see who's got it sorted out to actually be fast at the end of this race.
And I guess what a lot of people don't realise, and it doesn't show a lot on TV, is the climb from turn 10 all the way up to under the bridge there is pretty impressive. As we have here another move for position, that is what is it, Levitt going down the inside of Brooks. So they've taken over position as well, and these guys have been battling all weekend. Look at that, a bit of a wave. I'm going to get you back. So looks like Brooks on a march. He wants to get back there, so we'll keep our eye on this one. It's going to get interesting as well.
Yeah, I think that might have been just some good racing between a couple of blokes. It looked like a good clean pass. I think Brooker might have been just pushing, hoping his car was going to go a little bit faster.
I think everybody just wants more power at the moment. You put your foot down, you just want more. He's going to try to get the run now on Levitt as we come down the back straight through this kink into turn 9, which so many people doing too wide there that I don't know if that's not a move you should be doing anymore, or if it's just standard par for the course with HQs.
I tell you what, there might be a lot of other classes out there watching this footage going, gee, I never knew you could pass that way.
I hope none of them try it, because they'll find themselves in that outside grass really quickly. We've got Joe Andreski we're on board here with, and he is trying to hold off. I'm not sure who it is behind him, actually. I didn't quite see it, but they're engaged in a battle as well as we look further down the field. And a couple of West Australians here as well, having a bit of a battle.
Yeah, the West Australian guys have been having a great battle between themselves, actually. Every race, they seem to end up all together on the track, so I'm not sure if it was a pre-planned thing or not. They're going to have plenty of stories to talk about tonight when they get home.
Yeah.
So that's for sure. There's GB, Graham Bolter,
Yeah,
a lovable South Australian who's been around forever.
He's starting to get some pressure from the West Australians behind him. Talking about pressure, Lovering now is all over the back of Porteous. It looks like they've got Parsons in their sights as well. And is that Mitchell in front?
Rock Mitchell, I think, yeah. So the boys are going to be nose to tail again.
Side by side, not nose to tail. None of this nose to tail stuff. It's side by side here in HQs. As Wise gets one back on Lovering. That's for holding him out in the early laps where we saw him drop 4 positions. You can see Wise there was tempted to just hold Lovering out a little bit.
The Wise guy, done many laps in HQ racing.
Look at that, yeah, big
thumbs
up. Well done. Great racing between these guys.
Good camaraderie between these blokes. They're out there, they all want to win, but I tell you what, they're out there and they want to race fair and hard and have a whole lot of fun, and that's what they've been doing all weekend.
There's a few bent panels on a few of these cars, but I don't think they're that worried about them at this stage.
You know the good part about HQs, that does happen because the cars tend to slide around and move around a fair bit. They are an old, road car turned into a race car, but these guys get down the pitch, they actually help each other fix their cars. That's HQ racing.
And you can guarantee at the end of this one, before everybody loads up, there'll be a great little chin wag down the back there as everybody, I guess, talks a little bit of hype up themselves of, I could have got you back, but I held back there and didn't want to get past as we come down to turn 1 again and just see who's going too wide. I don't think anyone's... Oh, Porteous is going to try to throw it wide as he got down. I think he's past Parsons there on the straight, so that's a good one for Porteous. Is Lovering now all over the back of Wise again.
I'll tell you what, this battle between two teammates too, if you ever want to beat anyone, it's your teammate. It's always your first one you want to beat.
And of course the team boss, Parsons slowing, so I wonder if there's an issue there, if he just missed a gear over the hill. And Lovering down the inside of Wise. These guys are swapping position lap on lap. Here comes Skippy Parsons back down. It looks like we've got Brendan there behind as well. He's starting to close in, so that's going to be an interesting battle as Brendan Madden comes on into this battle as well.
Young Lovering certainly provided with some great in-car footage this weekend. So now you're looking at the back, of course, the previous Australian champion in cars and bikes in Gavin Porteous. He's just starting to skip away a little bit from the battle at the moment. He's probably taking a couple of big deep breaths and enjoying the rest.
Yeah, Bonwick's also slipped away from these guys in front, so he's done pretty well to get himself away. As it looks like now, here we go, Parsons to the inside. Wise, to the inside of Lovering. They're going to go too wide again. I give up. There's no more ways we can say there's only one lane through there.
These guys have been waving to each other and certainly giving each other the thumbs up. But have a look, Skippy might come through and give his teammate a bit of a push here if he's not in a hurry.
Here we go. Now they're going to try too wide through the final chicane.
Oh, nice driving, boys.
Well done.
Good
that
driving.
Was good effort.
And it's Wise he's got to run up the hill.
He immediately decides he can get back there and pulls to the inside. It's going to become the outside at turn 1. Double thumbs up. Great racing there. I think that's Dave Armour on the side of the track.
Yeah, just showing the boys while they both went past at the same time.
He's put Wise off. Gives him a bit of dirt. Parsons for position. Here we go. It's getting heated
the
here.
teammates let him back in, but there was a bit of a hip and shoulder there. I think Young Lovering run a little bit wide, and Wisey give him plenty of room, and that's racing.
Yeah, you can't say they're not trying hard. As here we go, Truan to the inside. That's Madden on here going wider now. And look at that, lock the inside brake. Wow!
Now Parsons had a problem there. He looks like he's suffering from fuel surge or a gearbox issue because certainly he's on and off the pace. So he looks like he's fallen off the back of that battle at the moment.
You know what I like there? The good driving technique of Brendan Madden, moving to the outside. He saw Truan coming, gave him plenty of room and switched back on him. That's good knowledge and situational awareness around the track.
Very, very impressive for a young bloke who's just learning his skills in car racing. He's got a big future.
Yeah, Dave Parsons is dropping off the back of this group, so there must be some sort of mechanical issue. He's going to try to limp it home. He's starting to fall into the clutches of Tony Maloney and Scott Cameron, though, so he's going to be trying to just get home and hopefully make it inside the top 10 and maybe get himself, that'd be a good result for a return to HQs.
I reckon. Look, it's a hard thing with a HQ holding, especially in hot weather. They were not really made to punt around at 7,000 revs for long periods of time. So big part of obviously setting up a race car is to get it to finish this race, and they're always going to finish with a whole lot less than they started. Yep. So it's going to be interesting as they go away. But have a look now. Lovering just seems to have dropped off from Gavin Porteous there, so he's showing pace as the race has gone on. He's actually got faster rather than slower.
Well, let's not forget they're reaching the 20-minute mark in this race, and it's a hot afternoon, so these cars are going to be starting to get very hard to drive. We've still got almost half the race to go ahead of us, so it's just still a long way around out here. And a few of these guys who are further down the pack, if they just look after the car, they may well find themselves creeping inside that top 10.
Yeah, no luxuries of inboard telemetry with HQ Holdings or none of these cool suits.
Nothing to keep the driver aids.
And I'm not too sure that the driver's fitness campaign's always the best either in HQs, but they're out there for a long journey, 20 laps. Scott Cameron, your man from New South Wales in the number 11 subway machine. Looks like he's got a few issues. He's limping around as well, so just as we expected, they're starting to fall like flies.
I dare say that car started overheating, just what we talked about with the hot conditions here and having to run them so hard. As we go on board with Brooke again, he is all over the back of Levitt. These guys just won't leave each other alone. And talk about not leaving each other alone. The cloud's down the inside of Andreski. They're going to go side by side again up to turn 7.
Mickey McLeod, he's no stranger to this. He's been doing this for years on and off. He'd absolutely
there you go, hold it.
I'll give you just enough room, but not 1 millimetre more. No, I tell you what, you don't want to look in your mirror neither, because there's how the whole bloke.
Oh, they've touched. Scott Cameron taking evasive action.
He's getting out of the way. That's not the place to be limping when they're coming at you too wide behind.
Here we go, we're on board. Look at him soaring at the wheel, Andreski.
He had a big handful of car there, and McLeod's back down the inside.
Got him. He's going to hold it though. He's going to try to hold the outside, see if he can do it. Here's 4 wheels on the grass. Keep it planted, stay there. There you go.
Great driving by the boys. Bit of respect shown there. They were both one in position, but they didn't squeeze each other off, so good driving, boys. Fantastic to watch.
That was really well done by the group of them. And Wood sitting in behind may well think he can make a position back. Here we go, 2 wide. Wood's going to try to make it 3 wide. And Andreski's going to drive around the outside here. No, they're touching paddles into turn 1. A bit of bumping, and McLeod is back in front.
I think there might have been a bit of paint swapped on that occasion.
What an effort from these guys.
Oh,
have a look at that. To the outside at turn 3. He's just behind McLeod. He's going to have a run at him on 4 here.
I reckon he might have given him a little push up the hill. It's not over yet. They're banking up behind him too. His battle's absolutely on. He's pinched a break. Mickey McLeod's just hung on to that one.
You got Wood there, and there's it looks like Robin Gormley as well. Gormley is sitting in behind, so the yellow car's going to be trying to have a go.
And Butler in the blue car. So I tell you what, these two out the front, they want to be careful, because before they know it, there could be another 4 cars going past both of them.
There's a bit of tyre rubbing there, and I think that's because they've folded over a few guards, as now Wise is coming under pressure from Lovering again as we go up the hill. Look at this, all of them putting wheels off. They're going to have to do so much work at regrowing the grass on the edge of this circuit with HQs. It might just be a better idea to just extend the track a little bit after this event.
I think there'll be enough rubber down that the boys will have done it.
Yeah.
Lovering's just about giving Wise a push up the hill this time.
Outside run. Wise is going to move over though, so Lovering's going to have to stay there for a minute. You'd be getting sick of reading Davidson across the back of that car at the moment. It's nice big letters. Here we go. Anything possible transport. I think it's anything possible racing at the moment in Lovering's car. No matter on what the line is, he's going to try it. Here we go, across under the bridge now, down to turn 4. I bet you he has a run to the inside here. Yep, sure enough, he's looking. No, decided the outside.
Have a look at Wisey. You reckon he hasn't been ever sat that car right in the middle of the track and then moved over
he's got a run. He's got down the inside. Look at them fighting these cars as the conditions get worse later in the day. It's getting hotter and hotter.
He's
White
got
as
back
hell.
underneath him.
Oh man, position. It'd be terrible to be a lap scorer on this sort of event because in front, behind. You don't know where anybody is. You're going to have to review the race chart at the end of the weekend because there's that many positions swapped. We'd have hundreds here by now.
They'd probably have a ball. Johnny Wise is one of the nicest and fairest drivers on the racetrack, I think. So I'm sure young Lovering's probably learning a lesson from the old Wise guy and having a whole lot of fun at the same time racing with him.
The good thing is there's been plenty of hard racing, not a whole load of paint swapped, but brilliant good between these guys all down the field to see them pushing so hard.
Oh, yeah. This is some of the best racing I've seen ever, I reckon. I mean, great competition level this weekend. We've got so many past and previous and current champions all on the racetrack at one time. It was always going to be good racing. But I'll tell you what, where's that bloke out in front?
He's just gone. Don't worry about him. Here goes Wood to the outside of Andreski. He's going to be going too wide as well. They've seen all the others do it. Now everybody's just trying these moves. As we see these guys, they're battling for position. I know they're not going to win the race, but it's bragging points now between the guys. You can go home and say, I was top West Australian, or I was top this or that. As here we go, Ord comes around the corner.
Oh, look at that. These guys are going to get together tonight and have a drink and talk about this, I'm sure. But how much fun is it? This is what they travelled over here for, to race against the best. And it's Wood! Oh,
what was that?
He's on those Outback Adventure tours of his again.
He's trying to do it more and more as we look now. Ord's to the inside, so he's going to try to get past Wood as they come down into turn one. You've got 88 sitting there in a watching brief. That's another West Australian. That's Butler.
Yes, it is. Butler in the blue car. 88 having a good run. Enjoying himself, I'm sure.
Stark's in there as well, so he's going to try to battle for that one. Just look at these guys. They're all over each other. Andreski started to move away here, so that's pretty good for him. He's trying to get after McLeod, who we saw earlier on those two rubbing panels. Black on black, though, is not going to be noticeable, right?
None of these guys would even know what position they're in, or would they care? They're out there having a ball. 20 laps, 50 laps, they just wanted to keep going.
No, this race they never wanted to end. As it looked at Daniel Currans, they're getting very loose in the 55 car at the back of this group. He's pushing hard to try to make his way through them as well. And it's just like they're racing for a win, even though they're down in 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 20th position. Who cares? Whatever's going on.
Grant Ord having a good run there. He's one of the front runners over from WA, so finding it tough out there this weekend because it's a pretty tough field of cars.
Look at this. Here we go, 3 wide. So we've got Stark and Daniel Currans, and it looks like as well Bruce French in amongst that battle. So there's 3 of them. They're smoking from locked brakes. They've gone 3 wide. Everybody else did 2 wide, and they went, we can go better than that. Looks like it. Oh, that's a bit of smoke from French's car, so he's got a bit of an issue. And oh, Beggs is off.
Yes, it is. Gary Beggs, one of the front runners. What a shame. Absolutely been showing some fantastic speed, but it looks like that car's tried enough.
So that's a development for this race as Mitchell now starts to sweat on the back of Bonwick. So, Bonwick's sliding. He's been released from behind Beggs. I wonder if Beggs was holding these guys up a little bit as that car started to fail.
So I think Bonwick's car's been a little inconsistent too. I think there's a few guys maybe suffering from a bit of fuel surge out there at the moment with the heat, because they're certainly coming and going. We're seeing again Beckers all of a sudden getting back onto the back of Neil Corey. That's been on and off all race. So the battle for second and third, I mean, that's a podium position, so this one really counts.
Yeah, we've just had Michael Pratt retire as well in the background of shot. He's down near turn 6 pulled off, so that's all over for him. I think Beckers is going to be trying to get Corey before the line. He's pushing hard, but tell you what, there's still a long way to go in this one. We've got about 5-6 minutes left in the race, and these guys, look at them go. They're just pushing hard.
He's our leader now. He's starting to come up on the back of the lap traffic. I tell you what, there's one thing about it. When you're trying to lap the field, you're in the lead. He's got a huge lead, but you know what? He'll be starting to hear all sorts of noises in that car that probably don't exist. Look at him, the headlights are on. They're 2 cars wide in front of him. They've got their own race going. They don't care who you are, Bruce Heinrich.
Yeah,
they've got a race to run.
The problem is you've got Breen and Gormley who are fighting for position. Warren Wadley's in there as well. So they're all battling like mad. And Bruce Heinrich's got to watch out to try to get his way through because, Gormley's wide is sideways.
Trying to do the right thing there and give the leader a bit of room, and may have brought himself a bit undone.
Found the marbles. He's given a spot to Breen, and tell you what, that's the thing with these guys, though, isn't it? They're in a race of their own, and it's up to Bruce Heinrich to find his way through them.
Well, the blue flags are waving, so I'm sure the guys will do the right thing. Bruce is probably lucky he's got a pretty big break at the moment, but I'll tell you what, here we go. Tony Maloney, Skippy Parsons, he's still hanging out there, but the car's just lost its speed, so I think he's definitely suffering from a problem and he's just trying to bring it home.
He's trying to bring it home, but he's still going too wide with Tony Maloney to get the position back. So, mechanical sympathy may not all be there when the red mist comes down. I can get that back, even though I've not got all the pace I want.
That's right. I might not have too much left, but I'm going to fight with everything I've got.
Exactly. Oh, gives him a nudge into the corner. That's just letting him know he's there. I'll get you back later, he says as Tony Maloney drives off. Well done to these guys. Such good racing.
Both fellow Victorians, of course. So Skippy following Tony Maloney, representing Victoria anyway. I guess Tasmania. I think Skippy's from originally.
Yes.
Representing Victoria this round in Johnny Wise's car. Tony Maloney also from Victoria.
As we look at Jason Levitt here, he's starting to hold off. I think that's Brendan Warren Brendan Madden in the car behind him. So 76 is holding him off. That's Levitt. He's done well actually, moving himself forward in this pack. He's up inside the top 15 now, and I'll tell you what, he's had to fight his way there.
Yeah, well, I think anybody who finishes this race is going to be a fantastic effort because the car and driver right about now, we've been out here for half an hour. The sweat's going to be pretty severe underneath the helmet right now, and the car will be just horrible to drive. And talking about horrible,
He's
that was
off
when
again.
Finesse was passing him. He's trying to do the right thing and let these leaders go through and get himself in a tangle, but this bloke out in front right now, he's got the headlights ablaze. Barring a catastrophe, I don't know if anyone's going to get him.
No one's going to catch Bruce Heinrich. Looking at this battle again down the field, and these guys still going side by side. You've got all sorts of battles happening, and you can't keep up with it with what's going on here as Daniel Currans tries to go round the outside of Adam Butler. And look at these guys now, they're starting to catch up. They've got French buying into the battle as well. It's just on.
Butler's been in the thick of it with this group all weekend. These guys will get to know each other pretty well by the end of it.
Oh, there's a touch. Look at that. He's on the dirt, locked up. He's got moved over by Currans there. Currans takes a bit of inside dirt just for good measure.
Frenchie's got smoke coming off the back of that thing. Dirt and dust. It's all going on around there.
Joe Andreski's going to be looking in his rear vision mirror, hoping that they continue battling just so he can get away. So we look at the main straight again. Just look at these guys fighting each other, coming down here. Got to move to the inside. That looked like Bonwick trying to overtake him. The gaps are starting to spread out.
There's a bit of a story there. Gary Bonwick, 5-time Australian champion. His protege, young Brock Mitchell. He's taken him under the wing. He's built him the car. He's shown him the way. And Brock Mitchell's in front.
So there you go. That's what
the
to watch out
Foss.
for. Wood round the outside of Andreski. Here we go. And who's going to yield? Wood yields. Andreski cut his front off there.
Brakes.
Yeah.
what
I'm
a
taking this
slide.
line. Here we go to the inside. Let's see if Orb can do it. He's going to try his luck at getting past Wood now, and these guys coming in. It looks like French's car is starting to smoke. He doesn't care. He's going to drive that thing into the ground. You can tell. Look at the front of it.
Yeah, there were some big slides by these guys in the background too. They're probably sliding around in all that smoke because when there's smoke, there's usually oil. Anyway, they're having a great time.
Here we go. 3 in a line, drafting down the front straight. It's going to be interesting to see who's in front by the time we get to turn 1. On board with Joe Andreski again. He's pitching it into turn 1 now. Let's see the field behind. There we go. And oh no, they've stayed line astern for once. So that's a little bit unusual this weekend. Yeah.
What should I say? On this corner.
Yeah. French is lining up. Currans is right there. He's going to try for a move. McLeod has checked out. He's done pretty well since he did that battle early on and got himself to the front of this group.
Oh, they look fantastic as they come over the hill and dart to the opposite side of the track here. As you see the nose of the car squat down under brakes, and I'll tell you what, those brakes have got to be struggling by now with this heat. 30 minutes of a 1,300 kilo HQ Holden and the heat, no brake ducts, they've got to be feeling the pressure.
They're squatting lower, lap after lap after lap and getting low. Look at that locked brake. That was Andreski going wide, so it looks like Wood's got to the inside of him. Butler's having a look as well. This just won't stop between these guys. It's late in the afternoon, guys. Relax, go have a drink, calm down. But no.
I'm pretty impressed by old Greg Wood. As I said, he's in his late 60s. We call him the fossil Reggie. He's fighting hard. He's fighting like a young man out there at the moment.
He really wants this inside line in turn 9, doesn't he? He's tried about 3 times in a row now. It hasn't worked for him any time. And he wipes off so much speed having to brake to miss Andreski that he gives all behind and Butler a chance to get past him, and they all line up to have a go.
Well, this is what it's all about, isn't it? That's HQ racing. I tell you what, that smoke's not going away.
No.
I'd hate to be the poor bugger sitting behind him at the moment. You can't turn your wipers on because you'll just smear that all over your windscreen. He's doing a great job.
In this late afternoon sun, it's just going to be worse and worse as well as they come over the crest onto the main straight yet again. We've only got another lap or so left in this race, so I think Bruce Heinrich's going to come home for a comfortable victory. As we take a look now, that's Brendan Matten. He's being followed by Brooke, and it looks like Brian Goldfinch starting to squeeze his way in the back there as well.
Bit hard to tell who's lapping who at the moment. The field's certainly well and truly spread out. I tell you what, they're not lifting. They're going to push all the way to the checkered flag.
They've jumbled themselves right up as we go on board with Jason Levitt. He's just outside the top 10, sitting in 13th place. He's done well to get through to there. I think that's as far as he's going to get. He's got David Parsons down the road in front of him. David Parsons, unfortunately, going backwards since the start of this one, and I think the car, as we saw earlier, has just fallen away from him.
Yeah, he's put on some fantastic driving this weekend, that's for sure. Made it very, very entertaining for us. But I think the car might be like many, suffering from fuel surge problem as the heat has gone on over the course of the race. But by gee, what a race it's been.
These guys have really put on the show, and there's our leader. That's Bruce Heinrich. He's on his final lap. The lights are ablaze just to let anybody in front of him know to get out of the way. He's still putting in some really good lap times, about a second quicker than the rest of the field. He's been in a class of his own all weekend as Bruce Heinrich.
He hasn't put a foot wrong, Daniel. He's driving, he's absolutely impeccable. The car's immaculate. The car's performance, which obviously done by Heinrich Performance, has been fantastic. And, well, that's what happens when you do everything right.
Look how comfortable his lead is. You can't even see Jamie Finesse in the back of shot. He just came into the back of it there through turn 7 as Heinrich started to make his way down to this sweeper. So really, Heinrich's just been able to pick his lines. He's never gone too wide with anybody except for on the start line. So he's just had it all his own way this weekend.
Well, I keep trying to tell him he's a has-been and he should make it all about his son. But when he comes out and does things like that,
what can you do?
It's pretty hard to back it up, isn't it?
Yeah, he's coming across here. Emphatic victory for Bruce Heinrich. Never headed across the weekend. 3 heat victories, the final race victory. What more can you want?
What a fantastic race. And great race too by Jamie Finesse. I'll tell you what, he jotted away at the start. He's kept it clean through the whole race. He's come home second. He'll be absolutely ecstatic with that on his home track. Good drive by Jamie Finesse. And look at the battle for third.
Here we go. Beckers has got the run on Corey. Up the hill. He's made it. He's going to get there just
right on the line by a bumper bar.
Just when we thought the race towards the end has tapered off, those two decide to throw another wild mix into the party. So well done to them. Unfortunately for Perry Beckers, post-race scrutineering has dropped him down the field with an infringement. So our top 10 is Bruce Heinrich, Jamie Finesse, Neil Corey, Brock Mitchell and Gary Bonwick rounding out the top 5. Let's go down to the pits now where we have Kevin Stoopman with our third place winner, Neil Corey.
Well, here we are after absolute sensational race, probably one of the strongest fields we've had in 10 years of HQ Holdens up at Morgan Park. And it's fantastic to be with a good mate of mine and someone who's been around for a long time and been on the podium many, many times before. Neil Corey, third position. Congratulations, mate. Bloody well done.
Thank you, Kevin. Kind words. I've had a great time. Car ran good all the time. The last race, I was a bit lucky to come third, but I'm very happy. This race earlier in the day was a great race, probably the best we've ever had when I won that. But no, it's good, and Bruce Heinrich's motor was very good, so I'm pretty happy with it.
So, Brucey Heinrich's a mate of yours. I see you've got Heinrich Performance written down the side of your car. Is there any chance you think his engine's better than your engine?
Well, I've got the old spec engine. He's got the newer spec, so yeah, his is a bit better than mine at the moment.
Used to, of course. These two guys, Bruce Heinrich and Neil Corey, both good mates that do a 4-hour race together and most of the time win, much to the upset of the Mexicans. But fantastic drive to you, Neil. I think you entertained most of us up here today, so congratulations, and I'm sure we're going to see you in many more years to come.
All right, thanks a lot, Kevin.
Over to second place.
Thanks, Kevin. And yes, mate, it was a fantastic field. And with me, second place getter, Jamie Finesse. Mate, you're crook and everything, and you just done a fantastic job. Well done.
Yeah, thanks for that. I'm sorry about the voice, but yeah, absolutely wrapped.
Don't panic, mate. We'll put captions in there for you. Don't panic. Everyone will understand what you're saying. Again, a massive field. You must be happy. Queenslander, home track. Pressure was on a bit, and you beat your uncle.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it's one for the records. Look, I'd just like to thank Pop. You know, he builds the engine. He's just had an operation himself. He's been really crook trying to get it finished. You know, Pete Marshall's been a big help too. You know, not only my car but our second car. You know, getting it ready. Sponsors, Zuma Signs, Windles Engine Rebuilding, Elvin Street Auto Centre, mate. Without those guys, we wouldn't have been here. So it's been, absolutely wrapped. A few beers tonight. So.
Well, you've still got a bit of the season to go in the Queensland Championship, so good luck with that.
Yep.
And all the best there. And we'll go to first place with Daniel Beckinsale.
So after an absolutely frenetic 2 days of racing here at Morgan Park, it's Bruce Heinrich who's come out on top. Bruce, we've spoken to you nearly every state this year. How does it feel to win the Nationals?
Yeah, it feels pretty good actually. There's a lot of hard work gone into getting this car fast, and yeah, it's all paid off.
No one was able to lay a glove on you all weekend. Did you feel like you just had that upper hand as you came into this event, or did it really just open up for you?
No, probably I didn't think it was going to happen that way until after Friday's practice, and I thought I was probably a second quicker than most. So I thought, well, maybe they'll come good on Saturday, but it sort of remained that way for the rest of the weekend.
So what was it that got you over the line? Was it the car or the driver behind the wheel?
Oh, it's always the driver.
Well done on the victory, and now you get to wear the number 1 for a year.
That's it.
Well, there you go. Bruce Heinrich coming out on top here at the HQ Holden Nationals at Morgan Park. We hope you've enjoyed the show on Blendline TV. I'm Daniel Beckinsale. Joining me was Wayne Healy and Kevin Stootman. From all of us here at the program, bye for now. Don't forget, for more behind-the-scenes footage and to purchase DVDs of this event, you can check out the Blendline TV website at www.blendline.tv.
Oh, I've got questions.